Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks Real Talk. We all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it popping. We hopping like topping in the Jumpman brand. Ain't no stopping. Divine and Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. We lit from Facebook, Twitter to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno, the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them lights below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Knicks Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats, when I pace that under space where our face is at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle, too hot the handle on the panel. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Knicks Real Talk. Knicks Real Talk.
Yo, salute everybody, man. Hope everybody doing well tonight, man. Knicks Real Talk, the night show. It's your man Divine, man. I'm in the building, about to get into it, man. Tonight, talk a little Knick talk, man. We're gonna go over a few things, but first and foremost, salute to everybody out there, man. I hope everybody doing well. They had a great day, man. They home or wherever you at, you chilling, man. You doing your thing. Be safe out there, man. The weather's kind of crazy up and down the coast, and prayers up to everybody out there on in New Orleans and down that side of the world, man, who got that little Hurricane Ida, man, kind of destroyed stuff over there, man. So I hope everybody out there in Louisiana, Mississippi, all up and down that area, Alabama, whoever got affected by that hurricane is doing well, man. And you already know, man, COVID-19 still out there, man. So wash your hand, wear your mask, protect yourself. Just be careful out there, man. And we just gonna get it popping tonight. You know what it is, man. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody out there on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're checking in from, man. I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. We're going to get into it. We're going to break down RJ Barrett's third year, Coach Tom Thibodeau's second year. You know, then we're going to get into the point guard situation with the New York Knicks with Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker, man. Possibly could be one of the better 1-2 point guard things in the league. So we're going to get into all that. Salute to the chat, Camilio, Tim Smith, the streets of buzzing. Thank y'all for chiming in, man. And we're going to get into it and everything, man. My co-host, Bronx Sports Jedi, holding down the Yankee play-by-play. You probably get in here later if possible. Enough of that, man. I'm hold it down and hope everybody come on the panel. We talk, but let's get it, man. Season almost here, man. September the 1st. You know what I mean? It's almost training camp is around the corner. Weeks go by so fast. Next thing you know, man, we about to get a season popping off again, man. In 3 weeks, the training camp going to kick in. And the next thing you know, after that, man, about a month later, you know, we're going to get ready to start some NBA basketball. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be exciting. I think there's going to be really a lot of anticipation for this year, man, after what the moves we made this summer and all the things that went on around the Knicks organization. And, you know, I think it's going to be interesting. I think people are going to be excited for it. And that's likely so, man, because I think we're going to have a good year. We made some good moves. We drafted some really young, good talent there. We brought in some free agents, brought back some free agents, which is going to be key to what we're trying to do this year. The NBA overall is going to be a pretty tough league this year. The Eastern Conference got pretty good this year. A lot of teams upgraded their situation, and we did too as well. So I mean, I think it's going to be bode well, and hopefully we with the addition that of Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, and the guys we brought back and return of hopefully Mitchell Robinson healthy. I think we're going to be a pretty exciting year at MSG, man. And you know, I think the world most famous arena is going to be busting this year. So we got to see all that go down, man. And I'm excited about it, man. So we're going to get into that. But you guys, man, you know, like I said, you tell me how y'all doing out there. The chat, thank you for checking in, man. We're going to get into the RJ Barrett breakdown, man. You know, that's going to be our first topic of the night. We're just going to get into what RJ Barrett, what he did and what he brought to the game, man. And I'm, you know, take it back to the origin, man, of all this right here for him, man, when he got drafted by the Knicks and his maturations in 3 years. We'll break down the stats for y'all in a few minutes. Salute Greg Peterkin. Salute you for coming in, man. I appreciate you, my brother. And we're gonna get into that, man. So let's take it back for a minute, man, and let's reminisce on how it all went down, man, on draft night for sure.
With the third pick in the 2019 NBA draft, the New York Knicks select RJ Barrett from Toronto and Duke University.
That's no Porzingis reaction from the draft, kids.
No crying today.
This is who they wanted. Number one player ranked going into his freshman year at Duke, led the ACC in scoring, had one of the great seasons in recent college basketball history in terms of scoring 860 points in his freshman year. That is 5th among freshmen all-time in Division I history. You know, he really enjoyed the entire process at Duke. Said everybody needs that year of college to play Fortnite and go to Waffle House in the wee hours every day.
Well, he's got an NBA body.
Cheering for him. But, RJ, you already have a jersey. You heard all the Knicks fans in here chanting your name, so they're ready for you. Tell me why you're ready to be a Knick.
I've given this game all I got for a long time, and I'm just ready for this. I want to embrace the city and embrace the team and everything, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you said that you were built for this, and you wrote down at 12 all the goals that you had on a whiteboard. How have you made it to this moment?
So working every day. You know, my parents, they took a lot of time out to make sure I was okay and make sure I'm good. So just by really working hard.
And the Maple Mamba is what they're getting. That's the nickname. It's actually written inside of this jacket. Tell them what that means.
It just means, you know, just representing Canada and my Kobe mentality, just that competitive mentality. So, you know, everything all together to get the Maple Mamba.
I saw you getting a little emotional when you saw Dad start to walk up here. Dad, what does it mean to be in this moment? Because he told you when he was 12, this is the stage that he wanted to stand on.
Excited for him.
Nick P, salute.
You know, your children make goals, and they go out and achieve them. You have to be proud. Very proud. I'm proud of you, son.
Tell me what you want every Knick fan to know about your son.
My son is going to give everything he has on the court. He's a competitor. He plays to win all the time, every time. He's going to work in the off season. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get more skilled. And we're just scratching the surface of who he's going to be and hopefully who he'll be for New York.
All right, we'll be watching the journey. Congratulations, RJ. Congratulations, Rowan.
Salute. I had to throw that up there, man. That gave me goosebumps just to hear his father was talking about how you're going to get bigger, stronger. And that's exactly what this young man has been doing since he's been in the NBA. He's been getting better, bigger, stronger. You know, and I'm looking forward to his 2021-22 campaign. I think RJ Barrett's going to be a problem. I mean, this cat is legit. You know, and exactly, KJW, I agree, man. That's actual facts right there. Pops did speak that into existence, man. I mean, this kid is going to be something, man. I mean, you know, I can see it every year. He's going to get better. He's going to climb to another level, and he's going to take his game to another level. So I'm excited about it. You know, what he's bringing to the table. I think him and Julius Randle, that 1-2 punch for New York, will be there for a minute. And if you look at his career stats, man, in 2019, 56 games. We had a shortened season that year, so we can understand that. 56 games, you know, 30 minutes a game, 14.3 points a game. Field goal percentage at 40% per game. Then he went to 32.3 3-point percentage to 3-point land, 5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1 steal, 0.3 blocks. And then he elevated himself, that's what feels so good. In the 2020 season, he played 72 games last year, 34 minutes, 17.6 a game, 44 field goal percentage, 0.1, 40%, 0.1 from the 3-point line, 5.8 rebounds, 3.0 assists, 0.7 steals, and 0.3 blocks. The young man right there just showing you what his dad has said, that is actual fact, that he's going to get better and he's going to want to do this here. Young NR, salute to you, my man. Appreciate you chiming in. So we got to salute you. But yeah, man, RJ going to be the real deal, man. And I truly believe this year going to be even better. I think he just one of them guys that he's like a Julius Randle to me. Every year their career is going to just elevate. He's going to get better with what he do. He's a hardworking young man, and I'm drafting that young man number 3 in 2019. It speaks for itself. So I think we got a lot to go on with RJ Barrett. I'm excited. I'm happy, man. I can't wait. I watched it. I got all of us that we watched him in a pickup game video a couple of days ago. With some of the best NBA ball players out there. He putting his work in, his jump shot looking good. He elevated his hops a little bit more. So I'm excited, man. I really think RJ going to have a good year, guys. I just think that is going to be there for the taking for him. I know now that we added a little bit more firepower in the offense, the amount of shots might be different, but I think the production is still going to be there. I think you will see RJ Barrett elevate his game, him and Julius Randle. and Fournier and Kemba Walker, them guys, man. I get into them guys a little bit more down the line with the point guard situation, but I'm looking forward to it. I think him and Julius Randle and them feed off each other real well. They got a real good cohesion together. Their chemistry is real good. They play good ball together unselfishly. And RJ just a dog, man. You know what I mean? He's a dog, man. You know, he going in and get it. He ain't scared to take it to the rack and all that good stuff, man. Salute Will, my man. I see you too. And he's not scared to go get it. You know what I mean? And that's real impressive, man. And that's the type of mentality you want in New York. And a young man like that who only been going into his third year, he done embraced the city. He done got to feel the best of it. You know, the hard times through it, but for the most part, RJ is here to stay, I think, man. I just think that his game goes up another level this year. So I think that's going to bode well for the Knicks because I think he's going to take that step. And Julius Randle with anticipation of him signing a long-term deal, he's going to come back even better. So I think you got to watch out for that, man. Now, he's going to be on the cusp of trying to, you know, go against some of the better 2s and 3s in the league this year, depending on where he play at. Probably the 3. Now they got Fournier here, but the young man that looked like he done grew an inch or 2. His body done built up. So, guys, I think Knicks fans, I think we got to be excited about RJ Barrett. I really do, man. I wouldn't, you know, if you ask me what would you trade for, I wouldn't trade RJ right now. I wouldn't trade RJ, period. You know, and I was thinking about this earlier, guys. Would you do that for Ben Simmons? I absolutely would not trade RJ Barrett for no Ben Simmons. This thought process came to me. Would you trade RJ Barrett in the no? I don't think Ben Simmons is going to be nothing like RJ Barrett. He nice. Good defender, all around, good point guard. But I think will he have better numbers than RJ Barrett to have an impact? I don't think so. That's me personally. So I think guys like RJ, man, he's part of that nucleus that's going to have to be around. I hope with the Knicks, the way they restructure these deals and everything, that when these aspiring deals is up, hopefully they can assign him to his 4-year or 5-year deal, whatever the case may be. Because I think you haven't seen the best of RJ Barrett yet. I think he just touching the surface. So guys, I think that's important that we hold grasp of RJ Barrett. And keep him in there, man. Because he really looks like he's going to be special, and for sure. KJ looks like a bodybuilder. He's all ready for war. Absolutely, man. In fact, yeah, these guys are putting in work, man. RJ putting in work, man. He's been putting in work for a long time, you know, since he's been a young man, and you know, he's ready, man. I think he's ready. You know, he's ready for another step in his career. So I think this year, you know, despite bringing in some more talent, I still think he's going to be 18, 19. I know if we wouldn't have brought in Kemba Walker and Fournier, I probably would have said RJ might would have hit the 20-point mark this year. He probably still can, but I'll take 18, 19, man, and just showed you, wow, you know, that's going to be impressive. You know, so I do think RJ got a lot with him, man, coming and be ready for it, y'all. So we got to keep embracing it. But I looked at his game overall. For me, is that this guy shot 32% from 3 in his first year. In his second year, he bounced back and hit 40. You know, everything, all his numbers went up. You know what I mean? Field goal percentage went from 40 to 44, like I said earlier. Rebounds went up 8 percentage points. So, you know, he's been getting better. He's been elevating his game. His maturation is incredible. And you know, and I do think we haven't seen the best of him, man. This cat is somewhere doing 17, having his prime. His second year in the NBA, he already putting up 17 on a consistent, you know, on a regular basis. Now, once he get more consistent, now it comes with time and experience and all that thing. You could tell now. You think he's doing 17 now. Wait till he get more experience, more comfortable, and you know he knows the NBA just like a vet do. I think he's going to be one of them 20-point game scores, 7-8 rebounds. I mean, you know, he got the frame for it. You know, he got a good playmaking eye. You know, and I think this year he's gonna be even better now because we got a little bit more offense in the starting lineup. So when he do make an assist to one of these guys, he got a chance to get an assist because Fournier can knock it down, Kemba Walker can knock it down. So that's gonna bode well for him too. Because now I think with Mitch being there with the lob threat and Julius, he's gonna see his assist numbers even climb a little bit more. I think his assist numbers gonna be pretty well this year. So we can't sleep on the fact that this man, you know, is on a better team with a better offense set around him, better playmakers around him. You know what I mean? It bodes well. You know, so I think that's going to be real important to me, is that this cat going to really take another step, man. So I'm excited about RJ Barrett, guys, and I hope, you know, he just can have a great year, man, and help the Knicks get to achieve what we want to achieve this year, which is get to the playoffs and make some noise, getting on that first round. And I do think if we take that next step along with the key additions that we got, I think sky's the limit. I think we can make this happen. You know what I mean? So I'm salute to RJ Barrett for all the hard work. Going into his third year, man. You know, we seen 2 years of him. The man was grinding, you know, bully ball. But now the man got bigger, stronger, faster. Like Pop said, like everybody else said. So I do think we get to see, pretty soon, this cat got a pop that might have a Ben Simmons body. You know what I mean? So I mean, and with a better offense game, that's scary. You know what I mean? That's really scary. So salute to RJ Barrett for putting in the work, man, and making us Knicks fans proud of what you're doing, man. And I'm looking forward to your third year. You just continue doing what you've been doing, man, and hopefully we can get these numbers up a little more. And then next thing you know, we got another piece there, man, that's on any given night. And the key going to be is just consistent. RJ Barrett this year just has to be consistent this year. Try to avoid the slumps and things of that nature. And it happens because that was, like I said, man, God, that was the second year, so things like that can happen. But avoid the slumps, stay consistent, and I think that bodes well for the Knicks, man. Because you think of this, the year we had last year, and he was inconsistent a little bit from time to time here and there. One streak he had a bad shooting streak, but think about it, man. Imagine when he on consistently, as his maturation keep progressing, he keep growing. And like Pud say, he's in top shape. Salute Pud, facts on that one. Yeah, man. So I think his maturation is going to be an ongoing process. You know what I mean? Time this kid hit his prime, man. He gonna be something special. So I'm looking forward to it this year, man. And I really like what I think he's gonna help the Knicks accomplish this year, just like last year. I think he's gonna be more better, and the team's gonna be even better overall. So that's a really good a good situation to be in, knowing that we're gonna come back better than we were last year, 41-31, with a mediocre offensive team, mediocre point guard, mediocre. I want to say mediocre from an offense standpoint at the small forward. Reggie Bullock, he wasn't a mediocre player. He just wasn't, an offensive threat for anybody. You know what I mean? But now that we had that around RJ and Randle and them, I just think that this team going to be a real tough out in the East, man. I know everybody predicted it. Like I said, everybody think a lot of teams got better. But they got to take into the fact that the Knicks got better as well. And our offense is going to be, I think, going to be a problem for the league this year. I really do, because I just think that you got to guard 1 to 5 with the Knicks this year. I mean, there's nobody you can slack off. Period. You have to guard 1 to 5 on the Knicks this year, from the point guard to the 2 guard to 3 to 4 and to 5. Everybody on that team and that starting lineup this year, the opposing team going to have to play them. It ain't going to be no slacking off. You got firepower and depth and good 3-point shooting around that whole perimeter. So I think if RJ stay consistent and it bodes well for him, man, I really do think that we have a good thing going on, and we straight for that, man. So I really think that's what it is, man. Yes indeed, Sarge, real talk, man. Salute to my man Sarge. Salute, appreciate you, my brother. I'm holding it down. BX is holding down the Yankee situation, so we hopefully he'll chime in later. Whoever want to chop in the panel, you're more than welcome. You already know. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited about what we're going through. I'm excited about the progress that the young man has made since coming here from Duke. And so I think it's gonna be a special time for him, man. And we'll see how it turns out, with the Knicks this year, man. I had a 50-win team. I think he's gonna help us achieve that goal. I just think that him coming back with Julius Randle, already got that chemistry developed. They already know each other's tendencies and everything like that. Mitchell Robinson healthy. So once we sprinkle in a little Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier to get them guys comfortable. And, I think we're going to be pretty good coming out the gate, man. It's not going to take a lot for the gel to happen. The gel is pretty much there with everybody we brought back, and everybody knowing Thibodeau's system, what he expect, how he coaching, what he do. They already know that. So I think that makes it easy for us coming out the gate. And we can get out the gate running, because, the schedule gets harder in the second half of the season. We can come out the gate running, man, with this team. And RJ takes a leap this year. I just think it bodes well for us. A lot of teams got better, but a lot of teams bring in a new piece that they got to find out how they're going to fit together. I know you got training camp for that, but sometimes it takes longer than that. So I do think, with our situation, we in a better situation in New York, having had these guys already played a full season last year. And I just think it bodes well. So, we're going to see how I get out, man. I'm going to go in New York. I think we're going to get it popping. And I think, for all the naysay people thinking 40-something wins, I don't think so. I just really think that they're going to underestimate everything that's happening with the development. Mitchell Robinson coming back, hopefully playing the full season if he stay healthy. Just him alone coming back, man. This cat missed almost 40-something games last year. Can you imagine, if we had Mitchell Robinson the full year last year, you might could tack on 4 or 5 more wins maybe in some situations because of his offense rebounding and defense. You know what I mean? So I think him coming back, having Fournier and Kemba Walker, I'm for sure, man. I really believe that this team can do something special this year. and everybody going to count them out like Vegas did last year, but this ain't no 22-win team last year and then went to 41. Now this year, they talking about 42. Yeah, okay. That when you say something like that, next thing you know, they're going to wind up being 50 plus. Because I do think they got enough in the offense and the defense, and then we can't even, start thinking about the second unit yet. The second unit is a monster. All the commodity there, everybody in that second unit, played together last year. Coming out the gate, they all played together last year. That bodes well for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Because that means that now it ain't no chemistry issue. You know what I mean? They know what they got there. The only, other than the rookies and Fournier and the Kemba Walker, it ain't too much that Tom Thibodeau got to worry about. He just know that we solid. That's why we got to come out the gate on fire, man. Because sometimes it's about positioning yourself. Because I know the second half of the season it gets a little bit more tougher for the Knicks schedule wise. We go on that West Coast trip. You know what I mean? All things of that nature. So we got to make sure that we come out the gate blazing, man. While everybody else trying to gel and get their thing together, we already got our thing together. We know what the coach want to do. It ain't no surprise with that. We know what Tom Thibodeau want us to do from the door. So you coming into practice, you coming into training camp like, all right, I already know what it is already. Ain't no big deal. I already know what it is. This man gonna put us to work. He gonna make sure we gonna pay attention to the details, everything. He gonna go in and out of all the nuances of what that team is about. So like I said, I think it's gonna be special. So with that said, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to RJ Barrett's maturation, this elevation, and we're gonna take it from there, man. And then I'm gonna get into the Kemba Walker Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose. I'm looking at possibly guys, either to me, two of the best 1-2 punch combination for starting point guard and backup point guard right now in the NBA. You tell me there's a lot of teams who could say I got Kemba Walker starting and got Derrick Rose backing him up, or vice versa, whatever. You know what I mean? That is a real problem right there for a lot of teams, man. So I think that's going to be another special thing, man. And let's just go a few minutes. Let's break down their skill set and show you what these cats bring to the table, like you don't already know. But I'm going to put that out there, man, and just let it see. I love to give them the video footage a little bit just to make it feel like we can see what we have, because we haven't really seen nothing yet due to the fact the season they started preseason. Let's drop a little Derrick Rose and see what he can do with the basketball.
With 5 different teams, including the Hawks, in his first stint with them. Rose up and under, bank shot. Oh, sweet play from Derrick Rose.
Only one Laker in double figures, and that's Kuz. Trying to get it backdoor to McLemore, taken away by Bullock, who normally is on one of the stars of the other team defensively. Bullock! Boy, he walked right into that one, didn't he?
Yeah, but, that play by Kuz a minute ago for the turnover.
Bledsoe, Williamson, and Ingram. Ball. Looking in, finds Bledsoe for the win. No! And we have overtime.
Big defensive play by Rose as well.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, man. You know what? We gotta bring it the way it really is. To have a dude like that as a possible second string point guard. Come on, man. This cat is probably gonna be in the Hall of Fame for youngest MVP in the league. The kid had been a part of 60-win teams, Western Conference Finals. Tough journey with injuries, but the man stayed aggressive with his career, stayed bouncing back, kept fighting and scrapping, and that's the type of point guard we need in New York, man. So to have Derrick Rose back here, man, for the next couple of years, to feel that the play behind Kemba Walker or whichever the way Tom Thibodeau go with that, I'll leave that to him to do that. And then, and it's impressive, man. And so Derrick Rose has been a blessing to us, man. He came in here last year under Dennis Smith Jr. trade to Detroit. As soon as he got here, you could see the culture change a little bit with New York. And I think that bodes well for us, man, because this cat has been through the grind. And with his New York, you know my motto, New York City Gritty Committee. You already know. You know what I mean? That's what it is. And this cat that's been through the grind. He know what it is to be to go through the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys. Pud nice. I'm cool with that, man. I'm a type of dude like this here. $1 million a point. That's what I break that down. Like if you making $10 million, you score 10 points a game. Basically, you know what I mean? Derrick Rose, I think gonna be gonna be a prime candidate for 6th man of the year next year. Book that. Because now having to come in behind Kemba Walker and not have to put a lot of strain on Derrick Rose, because we got somebody in at the beginning of the game where Thibs don't have to worry about subbing him so fast because the point guard is not really, getting to where he'd like it to be. I do think that bodes well for us. So I really think he's gonna be special for the Knicks this year, man. He, like I said, he know that system. Obi Toppin and Emmanuel quickly, man. He take them cats on his wing in that second unit. Him and Alex Burks be the flamethrowers down there. Obi Toppin and Noel. I just think you got a problem on your hand when it comes to New York with that second unit, man. I think they could score with the best of them. Right now with the maturation of Obi Toppin and Emmanuel quickly in their second year, I think that bodes well. I think it bodes well for our guys, man. So we gotta just stay focused, man, and let this thing take its course. Because I do think that it's gonna be special in New York City, man. I really think it's gonna be special, man. So we gotta see how that go. Will said could totally see D roll from 6 man. Absolutely, I think so. Will, I just think that it's not a lot of point guards in the league in the second unit that Derrick Rose haven't seen or haven't even the spirit. Ain't nothing he haven't seen in the NBA, since he's been there. Now you put him in 2021, 22 with ain't nothing he haven't seen. So I don't think a lot of guys could even touch Derrick Rose individually on a basketball court, in the NBA, man. So I'm really liking what I see there. Jan said, yeah, man, Crazy 54. Hey, I ain't gonna put nothing past anything, Jan. You know why? Because on any given a night, things can happen, you know what I mean? And things just go a certain way. And next thing you know, you gotta you have to just bear witness that these teams might fall out. They might drop out or whatever the case may be, get hurt, injuries. Injuries play a role in everything in the NBA. So when you have a lot of injuries sometime, that could be a problem. And I do think that will be a problem for a lot of teams. If they can stay healthy. If they can't stay healthy and we can, that's even more. So I can see that 54 win for sure. Jan, good thing there, man. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it go. But I think the emergence of Derrick Rose is going to be special. I just really do. And then we have to see, how the rest of this thing go. I think Manuel quickly bounced back, guys. Excuse me. I think Obi Toppin had a better year than last year. I'm looking to see Obi Toppin at least go from 10 to 12 points a game next year. If he can give you 10 to 12 points a game consistent next year, which I think is very doable after what I've seen in the summer league, I think that'd be a problem. And then we're gonna be even better off than we were last year. So let me bring in the one and only, man, my man Sarge. He in the building with me tonight, man. I got my brother from the pod couple in the building. So y'all make sure y'all hit him up. Salute, Sarge. What up, my brother? I think your volume's down, brother. Nothing yet. But we working on Sarge to get that together, and we continue on with the process. I know he get it in there, it'll start working in a minute. Cause you unmuted on my end, Sarge. You good on this side? And yeah, man, just getting back to the Derrick Rose. He's a proven NBA veteran, man, who got skills. He's talented. He's a wise guy. He knows his game. He's a wise man, so he knows how to run a basketball team. That's what's so impressive. That's what makes it so great. And that's the reason why I love for him to be in that second unit.
What's going on here right now?
There you go.
Can you hear me,
my brother. Yes, sir. You here?
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I got my man Sarge in the building. Sorry for the technical difficulties, man. We got KJ in the building. KJ in the building. We got Queens Court in the building. We got the family in the house, man. So we just get good. I love it. That's what I'm talking about right here. Nick love all day, every day. But yeah, man, I was breaking down a little bit the Derrick Rose situation and his experience, man, his veteran leadership, and for him and Kemba Walker to be a 1-2 punch against a lot of guards in the NBA at the point guard spot, to me, going to be a problem in the NBA. I just think that you get into dynamic point guards, one coming off the bench or whoever starting, I don't know, whatever they decide to do. But man, that's a problem to have for a lot of teams, having somebody who one putting up 19, not that he's going to put that up this year with the way we got the team orchestrated now, but on his career, it easily could do that. Derrick Rose, 14, 15 coming off the bench. I just think that bodes well for the Knicks, man. So I try to keep this thing in perspective from compared to last year to this year. And I just think that we got a lot going on. Sarge, let me get Sarge in here, man. Then we can jump to Queen, and we got KJ in the building. Sarge, now you good now, brother?
Hey, so first of all, thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
Every time I'm up in the building, I feel like I'm with family. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I love Philly. You know what I'm saying? So salute to the chat. Salute to the fine individuals on the panel. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing but love for you guys. Nothing but love for you guys. You know what I'm saying? On the Derrick Rose issue, I think that what we're going to see this year is going to be milestones from what we saw last year, because last year Rose had to account for the deficiencies from the starting point guard that shall remain nameless. I'm not even going to mention his name, right? I'm just going to say when he came in the game, he had to make up for those things that were lacking at the starting point guard position. Kemba is not going to put him in that situation. I'm telling you right now. Derrick Rose could legit be, and I saw it in the chat, he could legit be the sixth man on the team this year. I'm telling you right now. So this is what I'm going to be interested in seeing this year. I'm going to be interested in seeing from a head coach's standpoint, if Thibs is like, okay, well, I know what Rose can do for me, right? So am I going to waste that in the regular season? Or am I going to, package that thing up, sit it on the shelf, and let it marinate until we get to the playoffs? And then you have a McBride, because McBride hungry. I'm telling you right now. I saw this cat play that Summer League play. He wasn't just playing for Summer League. What he was saying is, hey, coach, put me in. Put me in, coach. I'm going to make it difficult. McBride said, I'm going to make it difficult for Tom Thibodeau not to play me this season. That was his mission. He had IQ and Obi and Grunt. Look, this is a great problem for the New York Knicks to have. That's all I'm going to say. This is a great problem for us to have. We have not had this problem for a long, long, long time. I think properly managed, D Rose could potentially be the sixth man in the NBA this year. He could legit vie for that award this year if played properly. You know what I'm saying? I just got to see what it's going to be. I got to see what it's going to be. With the schedule we got right now, I legit see the New York Knicks after the first 10 games. I think we could be 9-1 or 8-2. At the worst is 8-2. But I'm going for 9-1. But the worst is 8-2.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? Like I said, we coming in with a team. Don't have to worry about what the coach gonna do. Don't worry about the players who they knew there. They coming in with only 2 guys, and the rest of the rookies that wasn't there last year. I think the Knicks should come out there gangbusters, man. They got to, because they don't have to worry about building that cohesion, that chemistry. Like I said earlier in the show, they already know what the coach gonna do. They know his expectations. They know how he get down. It's just a matter like, you know what? Let's put all these pieces together. Let's go out there and let's put in work, Steph and KJ. I just think because due to the fact that they all been together, I think it makes it much easier to come out the gate with a Derrick Rose in a fold, coming back knowing that he's going to be there for a couple of years. If he put up on 14, 15 a game, which I said $1 million a point in the NBA to me, he got $14 million, give us 14 points a game. We good. We good for sure. You know what I mean? So I really think it bodes well for the Derrick Rose continue what he had last year, Steph.
Yeah, well, first off, appreciate you, Devon. I don't know if you're going by Sergeant Nicks or G-Man, whichever one. Appreciate you. Good to be on the panel with you again. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. We hear you well.
Yeah, and KJ, appreciate you as well. Yeah, I mean, I think, Derrick Rose, that second team altogether, I think, is what puts us over the top, in my opinion, in that Eastern Conference. I think it's really strong. I think the front line is strong as well, but that second team is strong as well. I think Rose, he definitely can be sixth man of the year. I think that his job is going to be easier. I think that quickly his second year in the league, so he knows how to play with Rose already. They've been playing together. Same thing with Obi. Noel was on the team. I think in that second unit, I don't even think there's anybody new unless you want to say it's Noel because he started most of the season. But when Mitch was there, those 30-something games, Noel was in the second unit. So yeah, I think Rose is going to have a good season. I want to say he's going to average more than 14, but then again, there's more miles this time around, so maybe not.
KJ, what's your thoughts on D Rose, man? I'm like y'all said, I'm geeked about it. How they would say, I really am, man. I think I'm psyched about what he's gonna do for this year. I just think the pressure's off of him because, like I said, having coming to game behind man is a big difference coming in behind Kemba Walker as opposed to coming to Ever Payton from an offensive standpoint, anyway.
Right, absolutely. I want to thank you for putting me on again.
All the time, brother.
Thank you for joining the channel. I don't know where SARS went, but up in the Northeast, we got this tornado watch going up here in Jersey, so it's a little crazy out here. So we getting through, but to your point on D Rose, the proof is in the pudding. I agree with everybody saying D Rose. I believe he was our MVP last year in that playoff game. Him and Julius Randle. But if it wasn't for Rose, we might have got swept, right? But our second unit, our first unit, and what a lot of people were not saying about the Knicks, we cause a lot of matchup problems. Okay. And the reason I say that is because say a team is going big, we can put 3 guards on the floor at the same time and still be fine for a little bit of time. I've been saying this from the beginning. We cause a lot of matchup problems with a 3-guard set. If you ask me, it's going to make it much faster. Rose, Toppin, Burks, and Quickly alone, and Noel in the back blocking off, this team is going to be very fast, man. Don't forget, they got to practice every day together. So I think Rose or Kemba could start. We don't know yet. But it's projected that Kemba Walker is going to start. We know the start lineup, but I don't want to keep going over it. But I think Rose is going to be fantastic for this team again.
Yeah, I second that, man. I think, you know what? Like I was saying earlier, man, the man been in the league for a minute. It's not a point guard that's in the NBA that he's scared of. Derrick Rose ain't scared of nobody. There's not a point guard in that league I think can pretty much keep up with him when his game is on. He got the floating game. He got now he did his 3-point shot and got better the past year. He elevated that. He know how to run a team. He's been running a team since he came in as one of the youngest MVPs in the league. Been through some of the grimiest games in the league. Went up against LeBron in the Western Conference Final, Eastern Conference Final, all type of things. So, when you play a guy like that, man, he don't have no fear. You don't have to worry about him choking under pressure because he's been there. He's been in the big fights. He's going to be in them later rounds. You ain't knocking Derrick Rose out. Derrick Rose might knock you out in the last round. Because that's how good his skills are. Just kind of referencing to boxing. Stick and move. Derrick Rose sticks and move, man. He can give it to you. So I'm happy about that. And, to have him in the second unit to me, with like you guys said, with Quickly coming off his second year, Alex Burks, I think him and Derrick Rose going to be a problem in the second unit against a lot of teams. Because Alex Burks can get buckets against anybody. So I think them two being the main cast and Quickly and Obi piggybacking off them guys and Noel, I think that bodes well for them, man. So I'm salute to Derrick Rose. And what he's been accomplishing since he's been there. And he had a long journey, guys. Now you use that phrase, New York City Gritty Committee. That's Derrick Rose because he's been through the grittiest things, knee injuries, this and that, going to different teams. But everywhere he go, man, he made that team better. So when he got here last year in that trade from to Detroit for Dennis Smith Jr. in that second-round pick, the Knicks made it to the playoffs. So I think he takes another step this year. I think he's comfortable in New York. This is second go-around in New York. So he knows what it is to be in the city, man, and he knows what the city expects from him. So and I'm going to bounce over to his counterpart, man. Let me drop a real quick thing on Kemba Walker, and we'll come back and we'll talk about him in a minute. Give me 1 second. Let me throw something up with Kemba Walker.
By Walker, breaking ankles, and then knocks it down. Great pump fake, draws the hit, and one.
2 on the shot clock. Kemba Walker's got to get rid of it. That'll count if it goes.
1-on-1 against Horford. Walker, step back, shot, got it. He is an assassin.
Walker blows by him on the layup, spins it home at the buzzer.
Good luck, Kemba. Good. Walker beats the buzzer.
All right, that get me hype. That's enough. Get me hype. That's enough. Man, listen, we had a point guard like that in New York in a minute. You know what I mean? And I just, man, I just think that if he stayed, he played 43 games last year out of 72 with that knee injury. But prior to that, he didn't have a injury riddled career, just in his last couple of years. But if he can maintain a little bit, and I think not having to put a lot of pressure on him because of having his counterpart Derrick Rose, I think that bodes well. I think they piggyback off each other real well. And I can imagine them two in practice shaking each other down. I can imagine how practice going to be when they cross each other up in that joint. So I mean, it's going to be fine. But I think Kemba Walker dynamic for the Knicks is going to be special. And Steph, like I said, KJ, if he stay healthy, I mean, I know it's a big if, but I'm not going to put too much in it because he says it's from when he's saying he think he's going to be fine. I trust his word because it seems like he's a young man in his word. But if he stays healthy, man, getting that point guard spot coming out the gate when you got with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett and Fournier and Mitchell Robinson, I mean his system is going to be there because you got everybody around you can score the ball. I mean, and I think his playmaking is going to be phenomenal because, like I said, they could put the ball in the bucket and they stretch the floor open so well with all them shooters out there. I just think that Kemba Walker, man, he ain't got to overload himself. Just be Kemba Walker, you know what I mean? And knowing that you got Julius Randle there and RJ Barrett and and Fournier there to take the slack off you. I just think it bodes well, man. I just think that's going to be a deep problem for teams when they play the Knicks because I think you can't double team nobody no more, and that's for sure. And I probably have to say that every time we come on. It's just that who you're going to double team in that team is possibly impossible, because all of them can put the ball on the floor and they all can shoot. I mean, they all 40% shooter from the perimeter, other than Mitchell Robinson and Kemba Walker is above average 3-point shooter, 37, something like that. So I think it bodes well, KJ and Steph, that if he stay healthy, the Knicks got a good problem on their hand.
No doubt about it.
So, hey Steph and Devon, I got a question for you guys in the chat. So, our closing five, we don't talk about the closing five. We got 5 minutes left in the game. What's our closing five?
It's a good one.
To be honest, I would play Kemba and Rose to close a game over quickly. But that's a tough one because now on the wing, that's tough because if you move RJ that's a tough one. You either gonna if you play the two guards, I would say depending on the game, I'm gonna go with Kemba, Rose, Randle. I would close with Mitch for defensive purposes, and then that last spot would go to Fournier or RJ depending on who's playing that game. The only reason I say that those two cats, if you got Kemba and D Rose closing the game, the pressure's on. I mean, that you just can't relax. And nothing against RJ. I think RJ is going to be much better this year. I've seen video of him shooting off the dribble. Maybe his aggressiveness will be different this year, but the RJ I saw before, he tends to just play within the flow of the game. If it comes to him, he'll take it. If not, you got those two, they gonna put the pressure stays on the defense if those two guys are in the game. So I would play them together. That would be me.
Yeah, I agree. I would piggyback on that saying, I guess depending on the game situation, like Steph said, depending on if it's a defense game, do we need defense stoppers or we need offense ball players? I guess it would depend on the game situation. But if you're talking about game within the graph for each team, oh man, Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose, I'd definitely go with Mitchell Robinson, Randle, RJ Barrett, Kemba, and Derrick Rose. And I guess the reason why I say that because I do believe RJ takes another step this year. I do think he takes a step defensively as well. So I do if Mitchell Robinson and Randle and RJ Barrett can hold that front line down defensively, and you let Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose run amok in the backcourt, I think it'd be. I could see that for sure. That would be mine too as well. Had them two guys, because not only that, they experience. They won't choke in crunch time. They won't get nervous in crunch time. Quickly, he's still a young guy. You know what I mean? He might not. He might not be able to hold that pressure down in the closing minutes. But man, you got Fournier too. You know, it's tough, man. It's really tough. CT. You know, his question was, who would you have in the last 5 minutes at the closing? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a great question. I hadn't thought about that. Look, Fournier can drive and kick. I think, you know, that would be a nice move. I think Kemba has to be the preferred option to because he's good at getting a foul, can get to the cup, and he can do the step back. I would like to see him take more of that last shot than Julius, who tends to find his way in trouble and also you know, has a poor shot selection in that last closing moment. And I like to see RJ get a few chances, you know, just for his growth. You know, he had a few, missed that layup against Miami. You know, that's the only way you learn. You just keep trying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I played a video clip of RJ earlier, and like his father said, he's gonna get bigger. He's gonna get stronger. This is on draft night when I played this video, and everything his father said he do. He's getting bigger, stronger, faster, more better. I just think you haven't seen I think you about to see the RJ Barrett you didn't see last year. You know, like I said, you look at his stats in his rookie year. He like I said, he went from 14 a game to 17. Field goal percentage went up. 3-point percentage went from 32 to 40. I mean, you know, it's all around statistics improved. So that's telling me he's a player who's ascending. So, you know, and we got to deal with facts, you know what I mean, not fiction. He's ascending. And I think this year he done got bigger, stronger, faster. He in the gym, putting in work like he normally do since he been picked up a basketball as a young kid. So I think him is going to be a key to this year. If he come back more solid than he was last year, which I think he is. I know he is, because he's got a work ethic like Julius Randle. These cats look to get better, and when you're working under Tom Thibodeau, you got to get better. You know, that's just the way it go down. So I do think that's the reason why I keep him in that closing five, KJ, because I do think he got the body type. I think he can handle the pressure now. He's been in New York a couple of years. He know what it's like. But I won't rule out Fournier neither, man. So either way it go, that's a good problem to have with these guys. So that was a good question, KJ. You can go either way with these guys, man. And I definitely would. I'm happy with either one, but I would definitely go with that. I love that Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose backcourt. I just think that's a problem. You know what I mean? I really do. And the Derrick Rose is an athlete, so you know he played defense. I think people don't give him enough credit for defense. He's an average. If he's an average, that's good enough. He's a little bit above average, that's even better. But Derrick Rose hustles. You know, he don't take plays off. You know what I mean? And I think that's a part of defense that's so underestimated is the effort part. You know, you might not have the skill set, but you go after the ball hard. You stay in the play. You don't give up. So I think that's the type of typical defense anyway. So I think it bodes well. But yeah, KJ, good question, man. Great question. I definitely can see that my five, like all you guys five. That's a good problem to have, man. You know, and my next segment I was bringing up to Coach Thibs. You know, Thibs going in his second year. You know, and we look for him to take another step with the Knicks. You know what I mean? I think that coming off that 41-31 first time with the Knicks, first time coaching that team, had to get to know all the players in a COVID year, in a shortened season, no full training camps. Now he comes back in the second year. You know, and the second year in the helm, and now his expectation is going to go up, obviously, because we got more better players, and he's got this thing pretty much a Thibs way now. So I think his second year going to be an interesting panel. I do think that I think he's going to go to the. I'm taking 50 wins. I just believe that. You know, he can get that team there. Where if he, you know, even though everybody got better, we got better too. You know, but so I think that's remained to stay the same to me. You know, so I think that I think Thibs gonna be one of the better coaching years, knowing that he got that firepower around him, and I think he gonna be happy with the team he got because he know that these are the guys he helped select. You know what I mean? He like, I wanted these guys here. The guy that's here is the guy I wanted. You know what I mean? So we gotta see what he's gonna do with him, Steph, because this is his second year. He coming in knowing and have a part of what players came in here. So I'm dying to see what he's going to do this year.
Yeah. In terms of Thibs, what I want to know, what I would like to see is the offense we ran last year. Was that just due to the fact that those were the players that we had, right? Running the offense through Julius Randle. This year we have more options. If we run the same offense, then now I'm just going to think this is just how Thibs like to play, you know. But I'm hoping, that he becomes more creative. And he may already be creative, but again, we just didn't have the players. So I would like to see a more dynamic offense now that you can run an offense through Fournier. He could play make through RJ, through Randall, through Kemba, Rose. So even quickly is getting those reps in summer league, and I'm sure in preseason. I think that type of offense would make us more dangerous because the defense won't be able to key on one player. So that's what I would like to see from Thibs. What offense are you putting in to take advantage of all of these options that we have? And hopefully it's one that puts pressure on the opposing team where you got to pick your poison. You want a double team? We got something for that. You want to play a zone? We got something for that. You want to try to stop our guards? We got Mitchell Robinson in the back, for the lob, similar to what Trae Young did to us in the playoffs. We had to pick our poison. We was going to stop him from shooting that little floater, or we was going to come up on him and leave Capella open. So hopefully that'll be the same for us. I hope that when it comes to the rotations, that if a player is hot, he leaves them in a little longer. But I get that too. Van Gundy spoke about that sometimes too, and he said that one time, and he said that some coaches don't like to do that because it messes up their rotation and it messes up the minutes, and in the long term, it just doesn't help. So Van Gundy, Jeff spoke about that one time, but let's see how it goes. But and I'm looking for his adjustments. Are you using? You can make adjustments both offensively and defensively now. So I'm just looking to see a bit more flexibility. Put it that way. That's the word for Thibs. Overall flexibility, offensively, defensively, with rotations. Is he a little more flexible?
Right, absolutely. KJ, before I let you get in, Thibs, 2011 to 2021. 393 wins, 277 losses. That's almost 120 something wins over. The loss percentage 55.87 percentage. Chicago Bulls first year 62-20, then 50-16, 45-37, 48-34. Last year with the Bulls 50-32. He goes to Minnesota with a young rebuilding team. Rebuilding with Karl-Anthony Towns and Wiggins them first coming in as rookies and done. They went 31-51, but then he turned it around. The next year went 47-35. They got to the playoffs, and then his last year there he went 19-21, 2 games under 500. You never know what happened. That was still an early season. So overall, 670 games. The man has there's a phenomenal coaching. Now it really depends on what he could do when he get to the in the big stage. And I know everybody harps on that KW, but I think Tom Thibodeau in his second year with the Knicks, I think we take another leap for sure. To me,
absolutely, I agree with you. And like to Steph's point, I think the big thing we're going to be looking at is how he's going to manage all these different men on the team, the egos, the stars. Like Julius Randle look like a action figure. I don't know if you guys seen the video of him today. That man looked like an action figure. So, my whole thing is I don't want to see him burning plays out like D Rose was burned out by like the 5th game. He was done. So we have enough personnel. I think this is a big year for Thibs as far as the management. We have personnel now. We have the guards. So I think managing and to see who's going to play, who's going to sit down, and that's all I want to see. I want to see him manage the game a little bit better than he did last year. We didn't have the personnel last year, but you know what? He went 41-31 with no guard last year. So now we have plenty of guards. I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, facts. Well, salute to Lionel Williams in the chat, Canal, Alton Lee, everybody in the chat, man. Punch Nice, a lot of wise, Sarge, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all coming in. We in here, man. I got Queens Court in the building with the streets of buzzing. KW events, man. You know what it is. So what do you think, CT, man? What you're feeling on Thibs in his second year with the Knicks this year?
Yeah, to Steph's point, he has to show that he can use these new pieces, effectively and to the Knicks' advantage. Not be too stubborn. Try a few new wrinkles offensively. I want to see him, adapt and grow in that area. I like the fact that we're sort of unknown to the other teams because we're coming in with those two new starters, and it's going to be a completely different look. If the Atlanta series had to be played all over again, even with the same coach, same thing, it would be a different look for Atlanta, with a point guard duo that can both score and pull up and shoot, and Evan Fournier, another offensive weapon. We saw Reggie's limitations, and Evan can do a lot more. Can capitalize on any mismatch, any switching, all of that. And of course, Mitchell Robinson, another big X factor. Evan can drive and kick and throw the alley-oop, and so can Kemba. So we've got an unselfish starting five. I think I want to see them share the ball. If I'm Thibs, exactly like Kemba said in the press conference, share the ball, find the open shot, and we'll naturally be a good team. How good we can be will be on the defensive end. I think if Thibs can keep these solid rotations, getting out onto the shooters and forcing contested shots, I think we can be as good defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I know how important Alfred Payton was, and big up at my man City for Real was at Alfred Wall Street. If we can get my brother, he played his part on the defense end, and he had that mentality. He was aggressive, but now I just think that to pick up to have that offensive firepower with Kemba Walker is going to bode well for us. And I think Thibs he can feel comfortable knowing that coming out the gate, that team can catch fire in the first quarter. I mean, they all can knock it down, and I think we're in that league where you want scorers and shooters, and I think we addressed that situation real well. And if we just go off of if everybody had a career average year, all of them, if they all just play the same way we've been playing for the last 2 years, I think the Knicks got a real good team. Because I think if Fournier do what he's been doing, and I think RJ do what he did, Randle do what he did, and Mitchell do what he do when he's on the court. And I think it just bodes well for us. I think RJ is taking another step. I think we really have a good problem. So I think Thibs, like you said, no excuses, and I don't think he's looking for none. I think Thibs is he's a coach, man. He's the coach. He's been coaching his whole life. That's what he do. So, but now, I know he got that sour taste in his mouth from the playoffs last year, getting knocked out in the first round. I know that's in all them guys. I know that's in his mouth. It's like a sweet and sour piece of candy to him. Like, nah, this ain't happening. You know what I mean? So I do, because I can see him really taking another step. Now that he got the weapons, he know the players. He trusts the players. Once he get comfortable with Kemba and Fournier in training camp, then I think we good coming out the gate. So I definitely don't think there's no excuse for him, man. And I'm looking forward to what he's gonna do this year. And having a little bit more offense power when you get in crunch situations now, like Steph and guys, you literally can close the game with Kemba Walker, like my man said, Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, Julius Randle, and Alex Burks if you need scoring, and Fournier if you just needed that, literally, Right. But to know you could do that and have that much firepower there, then when you need just some energy, you got quickly Obi, RJ, all these young cats on the bench. So the front office definitely blessed him with enough talent and upgraded the team for him to have a better year coaching. Let's hopefully he put it all together and it pans out that way. And he wound up coaching another team to what we thought wasn't going to be what it was. He has seen the expectations last year. We becoming the hunted now. We used to be the hunter because nobody thought the Knicks were going to be anything anyway. But now people are going to be hunting for it because they know that we legit. So now how does that pressure work, knowing that now you're going to have teams when they come in the garden and come to play you, they know that, this team could beat us tonight, so we're going to have to be on our A game. So I think that's another aspect that we got to see how he deal with that, Steph, as far as handling the expectation of people coming after you now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think Thibs is used to that. I think, you know, he did a good job, in my opinion, of really preparing them mentally for the season. They were all, you know, letting them know obviously the X's and O's, the game plan, but also the type of mentality you have to play these games, right? So I would think also that he's talking to them about that this season as well. Listen, we're a good team now. Even teams that may not be that good, they're going to get up to play us. You're going to get their best effort. So I don't think there's going to be any gimmies on any night. And that means that the Knicks, from a mentality standpoint, need to be on point every game, like not taking teams for granted, right? It's easy to get up for LA. It's easy to get up for Boston. It's easy to get up. But you need to get up for Orlando too, because they're going to bring, you know, I mean, they can surprise us, but I don't think they're not really seen as being a playoff team this coming season. But I bet you when they play the Knicks, they're going to give it their best effort, right? So I think that's the other part of our growth as well. You know, now that there's expectations on us, you know, are we able to continue to perform under those expectations?
Remember, Stefan, to your point, remember that Boston game, I think it was the second last game of the season, where Boston had the G League squad and we struggled. we were looking past them, and we can't have that happen. You know, every night we're going to have a target on our back.
Yeah, absolutely. That was that I couldn't we needed that game to see, and we almost let that get away. I was so upset that day, man. I was like, what in the world? This ain't what I'm used to seeing all season long. But yeah, like you said, you can't take nobody for granted, man. This is the NBA, man, association. You know what I mean? They there for a reason. You know what I mean? Them guys are in the NBA for a reason because they talented. You know what level they on, I don't know, but they are talented. You know what I mean? You got your supreme talent, you got your mediocre talent, but they still talented. So yeah, you can't take none of them guys for granted, man. And you know, and what's interesting to me as well is that think about last year when he had to close out a game. You know, Alpha Payton, he wasn't on this game right now. You had nobody can sub for Derrick Rose because they wasn't giving Frank no burn. You know what I mean? He couldn't do nothing. Quickly was a rookie. He had peaks and valleys all last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I like now to know that he coming to this season with, man, Derrick Rose, Kemba Walker, Alex Burks, quickly. I mean, Fournier. Yeah, he definitely has a no, and I don't think he make any, but he definitely don't have no excuses yet. I don't think Thibs make any. I think that man gonna coach them boys just like he did them last year. He gonna make them play hard, and I think that's the whole key to it. Just do what you did last year. You do what you did last year, the Knicks will be better. Because I do believe at a 72, we won 41 games, and like I said earlier, 40 of them games, Mitchell Robinson did not play for the Knicks. 40 of them. Mitchell Robinson would have played. That could have been an easy 4 or 5 more wins the past season if he would have played in the majority of them games. You know what I mean? And so if what he got coming in with Mitchell Robinson back, I just think that Thibs, he don't. I don't think he ain't gonna make no excuse. Thibs got to go out there and get it this year, and that's why I really got them at 50-some wins. I know a lot of people got them at 40. I just really think that it's so different, man. To me, when you playing a team that every position can score the ball. Last year we didn't have that problem. Or last year we had that problem where my man Alpha Payton couldn't get it all the time. Reggie Bullock, he only can get it when somebody give him the ball. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, now you got cats who, other than Mitchell Robinson, they can go get buckets. I think that's a big dynamic for the Knicks next year, KJ, knowing that Thibs got guys who just could literally flat out score the ball, at every position. At every position, I think, and they get to that lane, and you coming down that middle, that point guard or whoever, and you got all these cats out there, Mitchell Robinson lurking right there. You got like 5 options there. You know what I mean? You could drive that ball, lay it up, get fouled. You could kick it out to a 3-point shooter. You could throw a lob to Mitchell Robinson. That's a good problem to have. So I think that offense gonna be a little different. I think gonna shock a lot of people, man, with the way them cats get down for sure.
I agree. That's what's gonna make us different from everybody. I think we're gonna be a run and gun offense. I really do. With this team we have, and hey, don't sleep on Bacon too. I still think he got a chance to make this team.
He does. I mean, I think if he does, that means Luka is out, right? Because I think we have 15 already, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's my sleeper to make this team bacon, man. I really think he has a think about it, every time we played him, he lit us up every time.
Yeah. I think Steph, if you look at the 10, then you got Grimes, McBride, Taj, Knox. Then you got Bacon, Valdoza probably be competing for that final spot there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's that's a deep team over there in New York, man. I mean, we got some outstanding rookies, and to me, after them three in the top three in the rookie class, top four, you want to say, who to say that if people would have studied McBride more, he could have been a top 10. You know what I mean? That's what's so interesting to me. I know a lot of players won in that draft, but you know what? Now that when you look at that kid play, he could have easily been in the top. He still got to work on his game like all the other rookies. But man, from what he showed me, he could have been a top 15 easy. But I guess that's what scouting coming at. You know, who's scouting these players, or you really look at these guys. Some of them come from programs that's well established out there. And they get a lot of TV coverage, so you get to see a lot of guys with, you know, good talent. But I don't want to confuse the athletic guys with pure talent, because like guy like Jalen Johnson. That's his jumping. That dude is athletic, but his shooting game ain't good. But you know, it's guys up and down that whole thing that they coming in with a certain skill set, athletic wise, but can they shoot the ball like other than Duarte and all these guys? So I think McBride, to me, him and McBride's gonna wind up being, if you redo the draft over, let's say after this year, you redo the 2021 draft, you never know where them guys probably would have ended up if they have a year that you think they might have. So I think that's a good problem for the Knicks to have for a depth. We talking about God that might not even crack the rotations. CT, Grimes probably will, but not Grimes. I'm going to say McBride. Man, I would love to see what they're going to do in training camp, because this is an interesting problem for Thibs to have. You know, who's going to crack this rotation? So I think that's a good problem to have for sure.
I don't think they will, though.
Right.
I mean, because if McBride is playing, who's not playing? I mean, Kemba's playing, Rose is playing, unless they're injured or something like that.
Right.
For Grimes to play, who's he playing ahead of? Burks, RJ? You know, it's going to be hard for them. I think they're going to be situational. If somebody gets hurt, you know, you could bring them in and give them more minutes. Other than that, and if Bacon makes the team, he might get minutes over Grimes, because you know he played 60, 70 something games with Orlando last year and averaged, I think, like 10 points a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm high on Bacon. Yeah, to your point, you bring that up. Bacon has that experience. You know, he has limitations. He's not a stretch shooter, but he's a playmaker. He can get to the cup. He has a great foul rate. Because he's got a really strong body, can slash as well. So yeah, I think Bacon will make it ahead of Vildoza, if I have to guess. But about the rookies, I think they can bring them along slow. They don't need to get any minutes unless they are fully, deserving. Unless they show in training camp or preseason they start out playing guys, then Thibs might give them a chance. But for now, we don't. Maybe their time will come when a trade happens, and maybe Burks and Noel get moved on, and then some spots open up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what's crazy to me is I'm gonna tell you, and with the emergence of them guys, now you got to look at the pressure on Emmanuel quickly. You understand? Because I understand he's a Kentucky dude, whatever. But you got to look at situations like Emmanuel quickly with Grimes emergence, and and not Grimes. I keep saying Grimes, but I'm more talking about McBride. Then you got to look at Kevin Knox situation. If these cats, and that's another interesting down the limit there. Kevin Knox. Let's say he go in the off season and balls out. You know what I mean? Then you got another good problem. You know what I mean? So I guess to piggyback to the main point we was making, that Thibs ain't got those. He got a team down there. You know what I mean? And with the Bacon situation, Bacon played. He was interesting. He played in Charlotte with Kemba. He played in Orlando with Fournier. You know what I mean? So they got that. They kind of got that that familiarity with each other, and they know each other. They played with him, so I think that was a wide move for the Knicks to bring him in. And they know he got coached by Steve Clifford. You know what I mean? So they know what they're getting in a ball player like Bacon. They know Steve Clifford and my man Top Thibs is like that. They get down pretty much the same almost.
Right.
And so I think that bodes well for him, knowing that now he just got to go there and earn the spot. You know what I mean? He went from one team to another, so he got to finally, hopefully, he can make a home in New York. Because if not, he will be that. He just be a journeyman going around the league. But hopefully, he coming in and get it popping. And Lionel Williams, man, we know. I think Sims gonna be that two-way guy that he is. I do think him and me personally, I think him and Mitchell Robinson in the future. I think them two cats. You got Sims on a rookie deal for the next 4 years. Let's say if you give Mitch his extension, you got two good young, good centers, man. And if they just extended Clint Capella, so that means that you don't have to worry about the league turning to these stretch five. They just extended Clint Capella $46 million. So them cats game going to be around the NBA because they're athletic. They good at what they pretty good at what they do. They're going to get better at what they do. So I think like Lionel, I agree with you, man. We can't forget about Sims, and I think he's going to be special as well. But I mean that's a good problem to have for Thibs, man. Some of these guys might not crack that rotation, so be it. But you know what? But with that offensive team you got, you're going to have nights where Knicks blow people out. I really believe that. I think you're going to have nights where Knicks might go up 20 in the fourth quarter, and they're like, okay. Y'all cats get in there and get your feet wet, whatever. I think that's going to be a good problem, Steph, to know that we finally got a little depth there.
And this is what I would say. Don't sleep on Grimes. I know a lot of people are impressed with McBride, but I'm impressed with Grimes as well.
Right.
He took a few summer league games to get his feet wet, but once he did, that shot was pure.
Yeah.
And, quickly plays the off guard, so McBride can could challenge him, but I think Grimes is more who's going to challenge him because he plays the off guard. Position, right? So I think both of them could challenge because if they're going to use IQ as that third point guard, then sure, McBride can challenge him for those minutes. But his regular spot is the off guard, And I'll tell you something about Thibs. IQ's defense better be on point because if you shooting and you're not playing defense and he has another option of somebody who could shoot and play defense, there might be games because there were games last year when he would sit him in the second half. He played him in the first half. He didn't like the way he looked. He didn't play him in the second half. So I think McBride and Grimes are they're going to get minutes. They may not be consistent minutes, but when the season is over, they would have played plenty, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you think, CT?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Grimes found his groove at the end of Summer League. It takes a few games to adjust from college to a pro level. And Grimes looked like one of the best players on the court in the last 3 games. He can pull up and off the dribble. Once he sees the shot go down, and he was unselfish, he drove and found Obi cutting, and he found MJ Walker. And I think Grimes comes with some maturity. He has the 2 years in college behind him, and I think he'll be quick to acclimate. In the scrimmages and training camp. And to Steph's point, he'll get minutes in a blowout game or in a back-to-back, things like that. There may not be many minutes, maybe sprinkle in 4 minutes somewhere, 7 minutes somewhere else. But we can afford to bring these guys slowly because if you think about it, how many teams competing for a top 4 seed usually play rookies? They don't. If your ambition is to be a top team, you need guys sitting on the bench learning first, And I think we're 10 deep with veterans, so it's going to take an injury to get anyone minutes.
Yeah, that is. Salute D. Roz. Salute D. Roz. Salute. And we got Z in the building. Hold on for a minute. Let me get this quick plug. We come back in. I bring Zach in, man, and we continue the conversation.
Yep.
Knicks Real Talk, man. We got Queens Court in the building. The streets are buzzing. We're gonna be for the love of the game, man. Matthew, y'all give me a minute. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. I'm back, y'all. Knicks Real Talk. We back, man. Real quick. Forgive me for that last plug for the love of the game. I apologize for that. But we got my man Zach in the building. Zach Slew, how you doing, brother?
No, hey, what's going on, guys?
Good, man. We
talk some Knicks. It's been a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope all is well. Real quick, man. KJW, man. I hope everything is all right up there, man. Where you at? I know you say your basement flooded, man, with the Ida in the building, man. So I hope you're safe out there. And we understand why you can't get back in. So go ahead and handle your business, man. We appreciate you, though, for the time you put in there. And we got my partner in crime coming in the building. The Yankee killer BX Sports Jedi's in the building. We got going on. We up in here tonight, man. We getting it popping. Yeah, we were just going over the Knicks scenarios, man, for the season. I had the RJ Barrett start off with that. The situation, Tom Thibodeau coaching situation. We dealt with the point guard situation in New York, which is a good problem to have with Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker point guard. I think we're in a good situation there, man. So we really had a good conversation about that. But let me get your guys' thought on this, BX, man. First of all, how the show was going on with you? Welcome to the panel, my brother.
Thank you. I came in late, but the Yankees just finished their game. I just finished the watch along, and we finished the streaming, and I saw the notifications. So I got to come on, and they saw my face and say hello. And salute to everyone. Stephanie, I'm gracious to see you. CT, thank you for stopping there in the chat and writing a quick hello. And of course, Divine and Zach. Zach was part of the program with me. We did the watch along, and of course, Divine. It's always a pleasure to always be here with you and chopping this up. And yeah, we're talking about the point guard situation. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to allow these two guys to the minutes the friendly competition going into training camp.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a good problem to have, having two veteran guys like that who can hold it down for us, Zach. So I think it's a good problem to have for sure.
Yeah. And last season in the playoffs, we got sacrificed because we didn't have a lot of shot creation other than Julius Randle and sometimes RJ Barrett. They both struggled, but those guys could create the shot. And with Kemba and Derrick Rose, of course, but with Kemba and even Fournier, even though he's not a point guard, but those guys adding onto the team helps shot creation tremendously and takes pressure off of the rest of the offense. So it's good to see. It's a good problem to have. And then you got McBride. You have quickly. You have guys coming off the bench that can also. We don't know what they're going to do. They could take it next step. They could be good shot creators. So it's exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? For me, man, it's really going to be an interesting season, Steph. I do think that we got a chance to really compete real. Now that we go over all the scenarios, and to me, it makes me get more hyped about it because I do think that we got a really good team there, and I think Thibs got something to work with. Sis, I think he can go down there. He got a lot of combinations where he can go to. He can mix and match pretty well if need to be. Though that he's one of them. Seems like he's one of them solid guys. The forward going for the forward, the point guard going for the point guard. That's Thibs' way. He don't do a lot, but you never know with the talent that he got now. You never know what he might do. But even if he stick to his basic structure, Steph, I still think he deep in New York right now.
You said you think he's deep?
Yeah, I think the team is deep. Yes.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question about it. And again, like I said, that's why I think the Knicks have an edge over a lot of teams. Like, I have a lot of respect for the rest of the Eastern Conference and the changes that they made. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be tough. I just think that our bench gives us the edge. And even Noel. I wish his hands was better, and yes, I wish he was a better defensive rebound. But this is a guy who started for us most of the games for the season. And now you're moving him to that second unit, right? It's going to make them better defensively. And I just think I just want to get some more info on Kemba, because to me, if Kemba is Kemba, it's going to be it's the Knicks can challenge for that third that third seed. If he's not missing a lot of games, if he can play in back-to-backs, if the only reason you limiting his minutes is because you want to get Rose in the game, not because you have to limit his minutes, I think the Knicks are a totally, totally different team. Because the difference is, if he's playing well, you can play him 30 minutes and play Rose left if he's on that type of role. Whereas if he's on a minute restriction, no matter how he's performing, you got to take him out. But if he's not, those games in which he's playing really well, and you don't even have to take from Derrick Rose minutes. You could decide you're going to take from Quickly's minutes to keep Kemba out there, a little longer. So I just think his health changes our trajectory of where we could possibly finish. I know some people say that, for me, it's just the injury. I don't have any concerns about his game. But I know there are some Knicks fans that have concerns about his game, that he may have lost a step. He may not be as mobile because of the knee injury. Even if that is the case, I think he's still going to be good for us. I think that he's still going to, teams still have to respect him. That still opens up the passing lanes because he could still shoot the three. So I just think that it's going to be exciting. I want to see how it comes together. It's good on paper, right? There may be some growing pains in the beginning. Let's see. But I think the Knicks are set up to have a really good season, and barring injury, and if we gel well.
And Stephanie, don't lose that, and the rest of the panel, don't forget about this. Kemba, even if he has to be on a minutes restriction, him and Derrick Rose, replacing each other. Let's say they split the minutes even, 24 apiece.
Yeah.
You don't lose anything as far as guys who can score and get people involved. And also, Derrick Rose could be a good, I don't want to say mentor because Kemba's a vet, but teaching him how to take care of his body, how to change his game and last longer in this league. Even with knee injuries.
That that is a very good point. If this is an injury that needs to be maintained, if if it's degenerative, like I've heard, it doesn't go away. You have to learn how to manage it, how to play with it. Maybe you're absolutely right. Rose would be the best person. Yeah. You see Rose on the sideline with, I don't know what he's doing, his little exercises to stay loose. Right. So
let's not forget when Derrick Rose had that meniscus tear with the Knicks in his last run, that he actually had to have his cartilage taken out. So he actually ended up having a degenerative knee disease from that. So he's played, and he's been effective for years now and revolutionized his game.
Right.
With that. So that if there's one person he can learn from that used to be an all-star, perennial all-star baller and still become that, just different, these two guys could really work well off of each other and keep each other
dealing with the ego of being, MVP starter / moving into the second phase of your career, which Kemba may not be too far off, having to be that 28-minute.
Still 19 points, 5 assists with one. That's not terrible.
Point.
They could really do something with those two. And then, like you said perfectly, Stephanie, the Deuce McBrides of the world, the Quickleys of the world, those guys can spell them when they're needed.
Right.
So I like that.
Yeah. One thing my man was saying, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all already know what it is. Bend over, everybody, man. That means y'all hit the like buttons, man. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure I hit the like button. I got the all-star panel in the building. I got the crew here, man. We holding it down. You know what? I look at it this here. I agree. Ben Noel can have an injury issue too, but you know what? Between him and Mitch, man, I think that center spot is gonna be fine. I really think that now he's gonna have to. not have to overplay so many minutes. I think it goes back to now what's so important about having a deep team like the New York has now. Nobody had to play us today. Like Julius Randle, he don't have to pay 38 no more. He can go to 32. He can go to 33. Especially if Obi Toppin takes a step like he did in Summer League. Then now, when you got a deep team like that, you don't have to overexert these guys and wear them down and wear them out. And I think having a balanced team like we have in New York right now this year, I think it bodes well. I mean, there's no position in New York right now that I could think of where you got to play a guy a long time because the other guy just ain't got it. And I just think that because of the Obi Toppin, hopefully his maturation this year, that bodes well for Julius Randle. So I do think that the Knicks got a good problem there, guys. But yeah, I like where we at there. I really do. I think we got a good problem over in New York.
And two, Thibs, and this is I really hate this narrative that Thibs gets a lot of crap for not playing young guys or not being deep. When last year, when he had a 10-man rotation, half of them were young guys: Mitch, Knox, Quickly, Obi, and RJ. Now you give him more talent and better players. He's going to go deep. He's going to play the people that deserve the minutes. So as long as they play well, you see them on the floor, they're earned it. And Thibs is going to want to have, like, no coach in the world is going to say, I don't want to spell my stars. I don't want to give guys a break. He just didn't have the ability to last year because 3 of our starters were Alfred Payton, Reggie Bullock, and Nerlens Noel. Like, we were ravaged with injury, and we didn't have as much skill. So now that we do, that's gonna show a lot of people the ability of Thibs.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that you bring up a very good point. Was his rotations and sticking with the guys more about trust, and this is just how he plays, or was it that he just didn't have any options? He has a lot of options this time, so how he plays is going to tell us a lot about his style.
Exactly.
I don't know if he goes. Do you think he goes more than 10 though? I don't see Thibs going more than 10 in a game.
It's not Thibs' fault. It's that no team really goes more than 10.
Yeah.
When the playoffs come, every team goes to about 8 or 9 man rotation.
Right.
That's what people don't see because a lot of us just tend to watch Knicks basketball.
Right.
They don't see that a lot of these guys, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but dang near every team in the league goes 8, 9 deep in the playoffs. They have a 10-man rotation during the regular season. It just is what it is.
Right.
We have to touch on Taj, who now has to take a bit of a back seat. Taj Gibson comes back, was relied on heavily. Now I can't really see him getting minutes. It means we're struggling with injuries.
I think that was his original role. As long as he stayed healthy, he was okay with being the veteran leader off the bench, and he showed he can still contribute and be, although it's not ideal, he can be effective. So it's a good thing to have. It's a good problem to have with all these good players and to have depth. It's a great problem to have for coach.
Yeah. BX.
I see.
Yeah, BX. Let me ask y'all a question. Now that BX chime in. If Obi, what's interesting? If Obi have a little off game one night, or if he hit a slump, but that means you can move Todd to the backup 4 too. You know what I mean? So it's like that's his natural position. Actually, Todd is naturally a power forward in the NBA. So you can always, if somebody not playing their game, Todd can swing over to the backup 4. I mean, so I think having that depth like that with him, Noel, you still got Sims there. Though he's gonna be on a 2-way deal, I think he's gonna tear the G League up and make a name for himself. But I think BX said that Todd he definitely can go to that 4 spot.
Yeah, he has that versatility there, and you have him off the bench. Even if he doesn't play for a stretch, let's say 8 games, and you need to go to him, he's still going to give you veteran. He's still going to lay everything on the floor. You know what you're going to get from him no matter where he's come off the bench. If it's going him as a power forward or a backup center role, and he's going to give you a professional outing out there. Not only that, he's going to put the players in the right position on the court. During the timeouts. I remember one thing, the big impact when he kept to RJ. When the only game he won in the playoffs, he got in between the third quarter. He went to RJ Barrett and said, "Keep doing your thing." You saw when red lips and when he was telling him, he's like having another coach on the floor, and that's a valuable asset to have there. I know people are going to say he's not going to play minutes unless and I see Taj will only playing blowouts in the Garden. Don't be surprised. Thibodeau trusts this man, and if he sees the team, let's say they're struggling, they're hopefully not. They're losing 3 out of the last 5, and they want some spark. he might bring a Taj Gibson in the middle of the second quarter in a game that they look less lucky. And with his hustle, diving for loose balls and fighting for the 50-50 balls could spark the team. So those intangibles of a heart cannot be measured. And that's why Taj Gibson is going to be on this team, and it's going to be very valuable. Like you said, bring him in there for a power forward or two or center position. And going forward, that's why they bought him back and they kept him on the team.
My only concern with that is that he can't. He's a traditional power forward, like 10, 15 years ago style power forward. He's not today's power forward. So if he is out there in those spell minutes, how does he stay effective on the defensive end of the floor guarding these modern fours? And how does he stretch the floor with our centers being either Nerlens Noel or Mitchell Robinson? Not that it can't be done, it's just something to think about.
Yeah, I think after what I've seen in the playoffs last year, I think you get in where you fit in. I think one thing about, even though the NBA is changing, I still think a lot of skills still stay the same. You know what I mean? And I think no matter, hustle always takes precedence over me over a lot of things. Hustle, hard work. That to me, that's always going to be a part of the NBA. So I think he does have that trait and that character. And Todd is he's a wise dude. He's a smart basketball player. Not only he go hard. PS67 salute to y'all, Todd Gibson, but he goes hard. He goes hard. He's a rebound demon. Look at the playoffs last year. Him and Derrick Rose was the best Knicks in the playoffs last year. Literally. And and I think that's why Thibs brought him back. And Thibs like, listen, I need you in the stretch run. I need you so when we get to the playoffs and the butterflies start sheeping in, the noose, everybody start getting tight. You know how to calm these waters. When that ship starts sailing and the waves start crashing hard against these things, Todd Gibson is that type of guy who can handle that. He'll handle that. And he'll slow that current down until we get back on our feet. So I think that's another reason why they brought him back, because he had another deal somewhere else. He could have went to another team, but he chose to come back to somewhere else, CT, because I believe him and Derrick Rose knows what it takes. They've been in these fine, hard, gritty battles in the playoffs. And I just think it bodes well. So it's a good problem to have. And like I said, with Obi and them being young, but here's another thing that's so crazy, man. Not only would they look at the trade chips they got, the bargaining power with the trade chips that they brought these guys in here. I mean, all these guys literally, like I said, quickly job is not even safe. It's not safe. Not with the emergence of Grimes and McBride. You just never know. You know what I mean? I don't think I think it's hard to say, Steph. A lot of these guys job ain't safe for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we love everybody on our team, but the fact remains that if there's an opportunity to get a player you want, I'm sure they're going to say, well, we got Grimes that can come up and fill this spot if we happen to do this, right? Or we got so-and-so that can come up and fill this spot if we happen to do this. The only thing I would say is it's kind of hard for them to make that decision unless they at least give them some time to see how they perform in a regular season game, right? Because the summer league is something different. But I agree with you. I think Quickly, and I was somebody who didn't really care too much for Quickly when he first got on the team, but over time, I've really come to like him. But the Knicks are a very defense-oriented team. The Knicks are looking for two-way players, right? Jalen Jones, the Knicks was like, we know exactly who we want. We looking for players that can defend and shoot, period. And if you can't do that, we just not going to look at you. And Quickly up to this point, I think he's gotten better defensively. At least in the summer league, it looked like he got better. He's fighting over the screens. He's a willing defender. But his defense ain't as good as his offense. And so that always puts you at a disadvantage on the Knicks team.
Yeah, real quick. No, let me let the chat understand. I am not talking about trading Emmanuel Quickly. What I'm saying is nobody is expendable with depending on where they're trying to go. I think Emmanuel Quickly's gonna have a great season. I think he takes the next step. Him and Obi Toppin gonna have a great season this year. I think them going to that select thing, man, getting to play with them guys down there at the select team. I really do believe that Emmanuel Quickly gonna have a good season. I think Obi Toppin gonna take that step. So, and that's why I'm putting the Knicks where I'm putting them at, because I think they take a step. I think RJ takes a step. I think you're adding Fournier, you're adding Kemba, you're bringing back a healthy Mitchell Robinson, at least coming out of the gate. I mean, this thing can be crazy. You know what I mean? So I think if all the pieces of the puzzle come together the right way and they connect the dots the right way, CT, or Zach, I just think they got a good thing going. I think we got a good chance to make some good noise this year.
Yeah, and that's to Steph's point. That's why Thibs uses quickly as instant offense. When he feels like they need a jolt, that's when he comes in, and that's why his minutes aren't consistent. So if he takes that next step, he's going to get more playing time. If he doesn't, he's going to continue in the role that he's in.
Right.
Yeah, and it's gravy if you're getting that contribution off a rookie deal. The thing is, the Knicks kept picking players that were such a project where all 3, 4, 5 years of the rookie deal, they weren't giving you anything. And then for what quickly gives you, on such a cheap deal, there are players that you have to pay $10 million for that kind of productivity off the bench. But you're getting that, on the cheap. And I think the center position is also a bit of a logjam. I can see a trade in the works. If there's a trade, Noel's salary will be a nice filler. And if Mitch wants too much money and they can't come to terms, they might move him. So my prediction is that there might be a trade and one of the centers will be involved, especially if Jericho looks like a contributor.
Yeah, I just don't think you can have $25 million tied up in a center position between Mitch and Noel. So I agree. I think if Mitch signs, and I really hope he does, I think Noel would be moved. I think that if Mitch doesn't sign, now the Knicks are in a tough spot. Do we? Because you can't sign him during the regular season. Do we trade him, or do we let him go to free agency and possibly lose him for nothing, so that's a tough spot for the Knicks. So I really hope they get it done before the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, CT.
Yeah, just piggyback off of that. A lot of people think we gave Noel $10 million because we just think Noel's worth $10 million. I think a part of that deal was strategic to have some movable salary for a starting caliber center, so that another team might want to take that.
Right.
Yeah. I think it was interesting too with the Alex Burks situation as well, and I agree with both of y'all on that, because you think about the $10 million he got them, the $10 million that he got Alex Burks. Grimes could become a Burks. You know what I mean? So that's why I really believe that you take Noel's contract, you take Alex Burks, because that's $20 million. You throw in somebody to go get somebody you want. Now you got Grimes taking that step to fill that void. You know what I mean? Right. That he can knock down that ball too, especially if he get comfortable and he happen to have even if Grimes to have a year like Quickly had last year. You know what I mean? Even if he give you that and you bring in somebody in a trade that's going to boost that team up, I think that them some great options to have for the Knicks, and we do have them options, especially with all the draft picks and everything. That's I think we can be in a good spot, man. But I like the way they did it. I think that's good for RJ, because that Noel and that $20 million that Noel and Burks got, that might be RJ's extension money. You know what I mean? Somewhere in that realm. So they might say, you know what, BX, we're gonna hold on. If we hold on to them, fine. But even if we do, and RJ, I think the Knicks gonna extend him. He's gonna probably be one of the few who they drafted that get extended. I think RJ definitely gets an extension with the Knicks. I just think that I think his game goes up to another level this year. And but that's amazing to have all that deepness on that team where you could do that. And real quick, salute to my man Nick Sabruder, Tony Crow. Salute to you, Go Black is Time. You already know. Salute to that. Salute to the chat, Dan Glover, everybody, Pudge, everybody in the building. Yeah, man, I do think that's a good thing, man. BX, that you can go either way with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. You could, that's why they made those contract team friendly with those options. We broke that down the previous shows with that, why they did that and what's their thought of that. And they have to pay RJ Barrett. And they're trying to, put all their ducks in order. Let me ask you this, with the rumors, I don't know if you guys spoke about it, but what about that rumor that's getting a lot of traction for the KNICKS and Cam Reddish nonsense or rumors?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's becoming. I've seen it in multiple locations. First, me, and I want to be totally transparent. I am biased that I would love Cam Reddish on the team. I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be totally transparent, but I'm starting to see a lot of traction in Twitter and other different platforms about it, and it's like getting me a little excited. But it could it be smoke? It could where there's smoke, there's fire, or it could be just a lot of talk to fill up the gap that we have before the game time. But I've seen a lot of buzz with that. No pun intended to CT.
Right. You think Atlanta would trade with the Knicks?
That's where, again, I don't know how much stock can I really put into it or think about it, especially their rivals right now, playoff rivals within a year. It'll be hard to see that, but I personally, me, I'm biased. I'm going to be totally transparent. Again, I keep repeating it because I want Reddish. I have a plan here for the Knicks in a few years, and I already spoke about it, but that's getting traction. I'll find it and I'll put it in the chat there for all the different where I got it from and I bring up back to it.
I can see Atlanta doing that.
You will? You do?
Yeah, I tell you, here's the reason why. Knox got expiring. You're gonna have to sign Cam Reddish in a couple of years. You know what I mean? You have to sign him along with RJ. But Knox got a $6, $7, $5 million expiring deal. Now, do you think Atlanta gonna want to extend him? And maybe that's why I can see it happening though.
But where would Cam play? I mean, Knox is not even in the rotation.
Right.
So, so unless he beat out Burke, and like you said, now you're looking to trade Burke to some place like we did with Austin Rivers when he fell out of the rotation, right? Trying to find a place for him. And they wind up, I think, releasing Rivers or buying him out or whatever they did.
Mm-hmm.
They bought him out, but hey, it's all about keeping that one guy pretty much appeased, RJ Barrett.
Yeah,
I mean Cam, I do Cam Reddish for Knox. I mean, I'm a Knox guy, like Tone Crow said. I'm a Knox dude, but man, knowing that with his situation that he's in, for Cam Reddish, I'll definitely do that. I think Cam Reddish can help us right now. If somebody like Allie Burks do go down, I think Cam Reddish can come in there with that energy and all that. He seemed like he had a good playoff run too. He got better last year in the playoffs. It seemed like he did. So I don't know how to think about that, Zach and CT and stuff. That's something to think about for sure.
But then we would have to pay him. We already got who's that? RJ's extension coming up.
Hey, we don't have to pay him to let him. We can trade him now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What's the incentive for Atlanta? Why are they taking on Knox?
You know what I think it is, man? I think because of the emergence of maybe who they drafted, and Cam Reddish is gonna be fighting for playing time. Now you got DeAndre Hunter coming back off that injury from the playoffs. Now where's Cam Reddish gonna play now that DeAndre Hunter coming back? Johnson coming in, so I think maybe that's what they look at. They could be looking at, is he gonna be happy not being situational, and I think that's probably what they're looking at to me.
Right.
Remember, they gave John Collins a $100 million plus contract too.
125.
Yeah, 125 to be exact. And now they got to play. It's a big contract. Reddish kind of the odd man out, and I guess they want to trade one man out to another, and maybe Cam Reddish flourishes even more in New York in the spotlight, familiarity with RJ Barrett and so forth. Who knows? But that's I'm trying to find it. I'll definitely put it up there to where I saw it and where it's coming from. I like to always bring facts on there. But I was doing the baseball. If I knew that, I would have bought it always. I'm always prepared. But you caught me a little bit unprepared with it. But I'll definitely find it.
Yeah, but that's a good situation for it, even with the Knox situation. You know what? That's gonna be salary cap relief because it obviously don't look like he's gonna be a part of that. I think he's gonna be just like Frank. They keep him 4 years, then they let him go unless they trade him. But that's $5 million. The Joakim Noah, $6 million to be off the books soon. That's $11 million cap right there. So you add that in with Burks and Noel, that's $33 million. That go a max player. You know what I mean? So I think the Knicks got a good situation with their cap flexibility. They did the right thing. But yeah, BX, I had no problem with Cam Reddish coming down to New York for sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, this is how sports is played. You throw everybody in the gym, the cream rise to the top, and the rest, they out of the rotation until there's an injury, or you trade them to open up space for somebody behind them. That's how it's been in the NBA since the beginning of time, right? Somebody in front, behind you gets better. They start pushing you for your spot. Now the team has to make decision. We trade the person in front, we trade the person behind. What are we gonna do? So it's good to be back operating like a regular NBA, like a regular NBA team.
Yeah, these little savvy trades that we don't see coming. All of a sudden, we're taking on extra picks and we're taking on a young upside player. I think I can see that happening, out of nowhere. And I'm curious to know why no one's picked up JJ Redick yet. Out of the New York teams, what?
I don't think we got a lot of space. I think those players. I think it's more into the season when they usually sign. They don't usually sign around the training camp. Because what's the Utah forward that's also out there? Did he sign yet? What's his name? Did he play?
Millsap?
Millsap.
Millsap is still unavailable. Did he sign with Denver? Or
No, that's where he came from, Denver.
He came from, but right, he's another one that's gonna sign, but probably into training camp or into the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Pud Knight said, he think I can see the Nets going after him. JJ Redick for sure. Then they trying to stack up. So we'll see that guy. But you know what? I think we no matter what we do, we good, we flexible, we got a lot of good options out there. But I want to see this team that we got right now roll into the season and just get it popping. I really want to see what this team going to do. We got a lot of good problems, and I wish I could be in training camp like everybody else probably here would like to be, just to see the battle going on, the competitiveness, and Thibs looking around me like, yeah, he probably smiling from ear to ear. Yeah, boy, I got me something here, you know what I mean? So last year I'm like, maybe. But so this year, he know what he got. He ready to roll out, man. So I think we got a good problem in New York, man. I just want to see who's not going to make this thing, man. Because it's a lot. Like I said, Valdoza, Knox, Bacon. We got to see who's not going to be a part of that, that 15-man squad. Valdoza, obviously.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to shape up with that thing. But I know that starting 10 going to be nice. I know that much. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Man. Yep. I think that point guard situation is going to help us a great deal. I mean, we've been thirsting for a point guard since the last time we had Derrick Rose, and I think now that we have him and Kemba Walker, and I really don't believe. Like I said, I know a lot of people talking about he falling off. Nah, Kemba Walker scored 19 a game last year. I mean, falling off where? I mean, the man only been in the league 10 years. I mean, he basically just coming out, going out of his prime, but still in his prime. So. I mean, his game is his game. I mean, 4-time All-Star, all third team, all NBA, 10-year vet, not 17, not 13, 10. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna have a lot to give there. I think Derrick Rose, if anybody could be around Derrick Rose, been in the league longer than him, you know what I mean? But it's a good problem to have for both of the guys. So and I think they're gonna bode well. I think they're gonna work out well for us. For sure. Yo, salute to the chat, man. Everybody up in the building, man. Canal, Tone, Crow, Pud, Nice, Ben Glover, everybody. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Salute to everybody there. Checking out the show, man. I got the panel in the building. I got Bronx Sports Jedi, Queens Court, T. The streets of buzzing. We had Zach in the building. We had my man KJ. KJ, I hope everything going well out there, man. Stay safe, man. Prayers up. You already know what it is. But yeah, I'm looking at what we doing, man, and I think we're ready, man. I think we're ready. And everything, all the chips fall the right way, guys. I think the Knicks they're gonna be in that. Like Steph said, they can go high the 3rd seed. If it don't fall the right way, they can go down lower the 8th seed. But it all depends. But I do think we're gonna be up in that high echelon. I think my man got a special team down there. Just for me looking at basketball over the years and seeing experience and seeing what guys do and how they play, I think we got a good team there. We don't got wannabes on the team. Right. Somebody other bad player they just didn't want. We just didn't go get players because we just want to sign somebody. I think we got some really good players who want to be in New York. Kemba Walker know he want to be here. You know what I mean? RJ want to be here. Randle want to be here. And this BX, it was interesting. Randle signed almost the same contract John Collins did. Yeah. So you got to salute Julius Randle for that. I mean, because John Collins ain't no Julius Randle. You know what I mean? So I think we got to salute my man Julius Randle on that one, man. I really do. I think he did that. He took one on the chin for the team and the organization, and I think they're going to reap the benefits of that for sure.
Well, he said he believes in everything going on with the front office. He trusts the front office. He trusts the coaching staff. He's got their back, and vice versa. And that's what you want from your star player, and your leader. And you got to go with it. And he's setting the mode an example. That interview, they're gonna see it when anyone that comes in and see it. He's he's the focal point of the team, and he's checking his ego at the door. That means everyone should. So you lead by example, and I think that's what was successful last year and caught everyone at that time by surprise because he did it. He did it. He led by example, like you said. He bought into the system. He bought into the coaching staff. He worked hard, and it rubbed off on teammates and so forth. And he led by example, and that's what you want from a leader, not just a vocal, but also by leading by example on the court and off the court. And Julius Randle, you got to commend him there. He might not be the sexy, glamorous all-star in the league yet, but he's on there. He's trending the right way, and he's on the Knicks right now. So we got to relish it and enjoy the ride, and just take, support him because he's going to take the team is going to go as far as Julius Randle takes us, and that's how it is going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I do think, a lot of it was signing for the Knicks, but I still think having that stability was a part of signing a contract as well.
Absolutely.
I think, look at Oladipo, look at Schroeder, look at, things can change fast. So when you're betting on yourself, injury could crop up. You don't play as well, anything can happen. And I think, like he said, the majority of it was about playing for the Knicks, but he also mentioned stability for his family in there. And I think that was his way of saying, let's not take any chances. I just think that was a small part. May not have been a big part, but I think that was a part of it as well. That's a very good question. Do we think we could be the team we want to be if Randle is not our best player? Like, can we still be a top 3 seed if Kemba is our best player? If Fournier is our best player? Like, does it have to be Randle? What do we think about that?
Wow.
Yeah, I think it can be a team effort now. To your point, on any given night, it might be Fournier is the highest scorer with 27, and then some nights RJ will be the top scorer, I think, and then other nights it'll be Kemba. But I think Julius has to be at least within that 2 to 3, top scorer each night for us to have a chance. I would like to see him average more assists now. There's more weapons, and I think his scoring might drop, a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I do think he's going to be the main horse. Julius Randle, right now, to me, is considered our franchise player. He's the one who they signed to a franchise deal that long. I think his maturation is. I mean, look, even the first year he came here, granted, team was up, but Julius Randle put up 19 and 10. It wasn't like he was putting up no scrub numbers. You know what I mean? But now I think he's going to be that dude. Do I think we could be a third seed, Steph? I think Julius Randle got to stir that ship. I think he's got to be that guy that you put him on your back and you roll with him, but you don't got to put a heavy load on his back because he got more talent around him. But I still think he's the workhorse of that team. I still think he's the leader of that team. I think that offense starts at Kemba Walker's hand, running through his hand, and go, whatever. But I do think that he will take the most shots on that team, I think, and score the most points. I think Julius Randle will score 20-something a game, where everybody else definitely going to be 18, 19, 17, 16, whatever the case may be. I think he's going to be the main guy. Can we get to the third seed without him? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think so.
Let me say that if Julius Randle isn't the leading scorer, and let's say you said Kemba Walker, but if Kemba Walker does lead the team in score or any of the guards, it all depends on what are their shot selection. If they're going to be 10 for 35 and shoot terrible, and he's the leading scorer, that's not going to fare well because that means we're risking a lot of shots and we're trailing. You're chucking shots up. It all depends on the shooting percentage of the team and the scoring and how is the scoring numbers to their shots per game. Julius Randle, he's going to lead the team, and he's also got to be efficient on the shooting selection and to lead the team. So those are big key factors going forward with that. Can he be the one we win without leading the team? I think it could be, but it all depends on the shot selections and if they're hitting, who's hitting, and at the percentage point.
Right.
Yeah. You know, another reason I say that too is because if you look at the guy that's out there with Julius Randle, even though they could put the ball on the floor, I don't think RJ and Fournier and them could do what Julius Randle could do with a basketball. I just don't think they got that. Julius Randle could post shoot, he could shoot it, he could take the ball off the floor. I mean, he's multidimensional. His rebounding is crazy. He's the double machine. And so I think you know it all depends to me. You know, if Julius Randle go down for a period of time, the Knicks would tread water. But I think taking that cat out of that way. Julius Randle last year shot the ball to me better than anybody in the NBA last year. Everything that man was shooting was hitting net. I mean, you know, granted he had a bad playoff, but man, what that man did in that regular season, Julius Randle took his franchise to put him on his back, and they rewarded him.
Do you think to that point there's any element of the non-crowd and empty arena versus, you know, a raucous crowd now? Do you think that's going to make any shooting percentage drop?
That's a good question. That's a good question because it sure seemed like that in the playoffs. Yeah,
I just think there's more distraction. You know, it's not so much visually, but yeah, it's different. You know, when you're practicing in your backyard as a kid, you know, you're trying to pretend to shoot the game winner. There's no pressure, but when there's 20,000 people every night screaming, it's a different situation to hit that shot all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's part of the playoffs that we saw. You know, the players went from 2,000 in the arena all season, and then all of a sudden, here we go. You know, the spotlight's, you know, magnified, and then there's also, you know, crazy fans, you know, calling you out. So
not only that, the different color schemes and different movements from players behind the court. You know, that takes that focusing when there's no one behind you and it's totally black seats, you know, covered, and then you have a crowd or arena with moving parts, you know, moving colors with the jerseys and all that. It could and even if it could throw you off, just focus on just the focusing and certain things. I think that's an aspect to it. The adjustment, they didn't have enough adjustment for the capacity of crowd in there. No excuses. He stunk it up though, but that could be a factor why they had struggled in the playoffs, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that, man, because it's a different animal when you're playing against noise and distractions and all that stuff, man. It could throw you off the game for sure, you know. But like I said, I think Julius Randle will, you know, do what he do. I'm just not sure how far the Knicks can go without him being the main guy. I think he locked himself into being that guy. He want that title. A lot of people don't want that title. You know what I mean? He want that. I want to be that dude. And I just think that a lot of guys on the Knicks, they good, but do they want to be that dude? You know what I mean? You know, give me the ball. I want this ball. Give it to me. Let me try. I think Julius Randle is in that situation now. So that's why I said, I think they'd be all right, but I don't know if they you know, Steph, I don't know if they would I don't know how Fournier would do. It's hard to see because, you know, he played with Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, so I never seen him as a leader. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. I'm not doubting him as a leader. RJ last year he was good year, a little bit inconsistent. You know what I mean? So you can't put RJ there because maybe this year he takes that next step, and that's a watch. There's no more of that. But if you base off of last year, RJ, I couldn't see him doing it. I can see Kemba Walker being that leader, but because, like you said, the injury history right now, I don't know if he could do that constantly. You know what I mean? Right. Constantly. And then I look at obviously Fournier. That's you know, that remained to be seen. So other than that, I think Julius Randle. That's why they give him that money, because I think they seen what that man could do with the ball, and I think Thibs been like, listen, I seen your game, and I like the way you do it. Julius Randle had a good year last year, man. I mean, man, I got it. That's why he deserved to be all of the accolades he got last year. He deserved every bit of it. I think that's how good his year was last year for sure.
Now with the Evan Fournier, do you want to take this in consideration at this point? I think he was the leader in that French national team.
Oh yeah,
he was vocal. So that's a little bit of glimpse. He's taking on a whole country, and you know, these foreign players, they really are so heavy and go all out for them. Look at Luka. He says he'd rather win a gold medal for his country and so forth. And these international players, they're really prideful with their, you know, representing the country that way and vocal leader and on the court. Could that translate in New York? Can that translate? And he already had a taste of it. Wouldn't be surprised if he becomes like an unsung hero, unsung leader for the Knicks there.
Listen, there's no doubt about it. I think not necessarily us as content creators, but I think a lot of the fans may be sleeping on Fournier. Like I said before, I think he will probably be or has a good chance to be our second leading scorer. I think he's built for New York. If you saw his interview on KFTV, the way he talked, the way this guy's not afraid. I think New York is going to be his type of city. I don't think the lights are going to be too bright for him. This is a guy, like you said, was the leader on the French national team. And you know how we feel about our sports? These other countries feel the same way about their sports, if not more, because they don't even have that many, well, I don't know how it is out there. Maybe they do have as many teams. So I think he is. I think he's gonna bode well for us, And I agree with you. I think Randle does have to be our best, our best player for us to get where we need to go. But I wouldn't sleep on Fournier, not 1 minute.
That's what make us CT. That's what make us so dangerous, man. To have a guy like Fournier, it's like I said, him and the nose. Big ups to Reggie Bullock, but and all that. But still, he ain't Evan Fournier though. You know what I mean? So I really think that bodes well for the Knicks, man. I'm like, okay,
no doubt.
Woo, that is crazy, CT.
Yeah, he's the thing that struck me to BX point in the Olympics. He's unselfish. Evan Fournier, he's not like one of those microwave scorers off the bench that is just going to shoot. He's a team player where he will, find the best shooter. He'll dribble, drive. I think his dribble handoff game with Julius will be good, with Kemba as well. And yeah, I saw in the Olympics a player who can carry a team, on different nights. Maybe he's not that kind of player where he'll take over a game, but he's very capable of scoring 25, 30 in any night. And he shoots the three at a really good percentage. So, he's just a great shooter and just an upgrade overall from what we need in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. He gonna fit within. You know what I love about this? He's gonna have that connection with Randle, with him and that Bullock had in that corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the only difference with him is if that three ain't there, he'll put the ball on the floor and kick rocks. You know what I mean? He'll bounce. Opposed to Reggie Bullock, he couldn't do that as well. You know what I mean? So I think that bodes well. I think training camp will be interesting. I think that rapport that he built with them guys, I don't think it's gonna take long. Him and Kemba played together, last year for a sprint, a little bit. So I do think they should gel pretty fast because and I think that coming out there, I think they're gonna be ready to go, gangbusters, man. But I can see Fournier being real pivotal. You know what I mean? If RJ takes the maturation that he's gonna take, then Knicks gonna be a tough team. I just believe that, and I believe that RJ gonna do that. I have no doubt in my mind that's the way he built. He built that way. I think he gonna get better. He got something to prove. He gonna play hard. I think the Knicks got a good team. And Will, I agree with you. Will, 22 plus for Julius. You gotta man. If Evan scored 21 a game, Jan, which I hope he do. Man, oh man, boy, with
Did you lose it? Did we lose
Is that me?
No, I think we lost Divine. I think he got excited.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was going too good. It was going too good. Yeah, but that would be crazy though. I got those storms down here as well, man, in North Carolina. Yeah, but it held on pretty long though. That's good. Yeah, but I think that'd be a good problem, Jan. If he scored 21, buddy, game over. Because now you got Julius. Julius gonna give you, and Fournier can give you what Tatum and Brown can give you scoring wise. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, and I think, so I think that's a good part. That RJ can, give you what Mark Smart and give you, Kemba Walker can give you.
We lost you.
Yeah, CT. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Yep, you're good. Hope everything's well.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be hard for the other teams to game plan because we watch this team closely and we don't even know whose night. Any night it could be Julius, could be Kemba, could be There's games where Mitch has 20 points and 10 offensive boards and I mean that's just a different dynamic. And I think the bench, like if the starters just keep the game level, like all game long, and the bench comes in, that's when we usually hit the front. Last year the bench had to get us from behind and sort of take the lead because we start slow with Alfred and the scoring issues. But now if the bench come in confident and the score's sort of level, we'll hit the front like 9 times out of 10.
I think the only thing that's stopping us, or I shouldn't say stopping us, if we're healthy and we have chemistry, it's a wrap. I think that's the only thing I see getting in the way of the Knicks being very successful is lack of chemistry and injury. And I'm not even worried too much about chemistry. I know we got to work in Fournier, we got to work in Kemba, but those guys' games kind of match the way we play. So I don't see that being much of an issue. So as long as we're healthy, I think.
How high do you think?
I think we could definitely keep our 4th seed. Definitely, if we're healthy. If we're healthy and we're gelling, definitely keep the 4th seed. But listen, is it out of the realm of possibility to pass Philadelphia? I mean, I think it's going to depend on what they do with Simmons. Keep in mind, though, if they trade in Simmons, they are going to get back a really good player. So it's not like they're not going to get back somebody good. But they're losing a lot of leverage, with his recent trade demand. So they may not get back as good a player as he's worth, And that oftentimes happens when you're trading a superstar, right? So it's possible, it's possible.
Yep, facts. Daryl Morey, if any GM's going to walk the tightrope, it's going to be him. There's talk about litigation and other things, coming in if Simmons doesn't report to camp.
Oh yeah, I heard that already today. I heard he's like he do not want to be with.
But if he doesn't,
are we okay? Can we hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, good. All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't report, that's a lot of drama. That's a lot of drama for them.
And the health of Embiid.
And the health
of
another
Embiid. Thing.
But he's been relatively healthy the past few years, though.
But didn't he have a tear?
Meniscus? Right. Those meniscus keep each procedure you need to take, and with an 82 game, they have to load manage that. I think.
You're on point with that one. Yeah, I agree with you, DT. But that's why they signed Drummond. That was a big acquisition for them.
Yeah,
huge.
I forgot.
Right, that's a huge acquisition. And
that's a huge acquisition for them. Is right.
That was sure right there.
Now, with all this traction with Ben Simmons, Minnesota is involved in there. Talking about Ben Simmons, but that's
Cleveland.
Cleveland, that has to be a 3-team trade.
Who does Cleveland have?
Sexton. I think Philly could take Sexton. They need a starting.
Yeah, we wanted him here. We wanted him here, so he's got to be good in Philadelphia as well.
No. They're gonna get you if you got Ben Simmons. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that he has limitations, but he's still an all NBA player. You can't come back with Sexton.
Not by itself.
Yeah, they'll have to throw in, Osman and also Mobley. Probably, Sexton, Osman, Mobley, and first or first. I don't know.
Remember,
I'm not taking that.
Rich Paul wants to get rid of Rich Paul wants is also the other Moakley. He wants both of his players out of Philadelphia if they're going to trade Simmons. He wants both of their agent now. Is now the nonsense behind the
Right.
it's starting to come to fruition. Like if you don't want Simmons, then I got to take my other client out of Philadelphia, which is
Who's
not a
his
cheap
other
thing.
client?
Moxie, if I'm not mistaken, I'll find it.
Oh my God! Like
Yeah.
this is just becoming.
It's
like,
becoming a soap opera, which is
Yeah, I
you
mean,
don't want that.
Which one? Which one was that?
Moxley, if his name is
Maxi.
Maxi. God, believe me, I don't follow the Philadelphia. I don't tend to. I just
He doesn't want to come back.
No, the agent is saying they share the same agent. So the agent is saying if I want both of my clients out of there. If Simmons is not going to be there, I want both of my. That's what I'm saying. It's getting a little crazy now.
Yeah. Because Clutch, don't forget Rich Paul.
Rich Paul.
This talk is Philly won't deal with Rich Paul ever again if Simmons doesn't. So that has a huge ripple effect on every client not ever playing for the Sixers if Simmons doesn't report.
Wow.
So Rich Paul's phone, he better have 3 or 4 phones right now because he's got Noel lawsuit. He's got
right
business as usual.
Hey, what about you think? Somebody said I thought about this earlier. I think it was today. You'll say Ben Simmons going to LA with LeBron and them.
Who
they giving up?
How do you fit him?
Westbrook?
How do you fit him in there? Yeah, it's like
But I'm thinking is if you could hypothetically, let's say if you hypothetically could pull that off without giving up another 4, can you imagine a team where every day we have 3? That money don't work, but man, the little hammer, that'd be crazy. I don't think Brooklyn couldn't touch that. They could not touch that team, bro. They couldn't touch that. But it's a good problem to have, man. But yo, man, great to chat. Thank you guys. Great. We appreciate y'all, Steph, man. Queens Court.
Appreciate you.
Monday,
8:00. Anybody, CT, BX, anybody who ever want to come on the show, let me know. I'll shoot you guys the link. Monday, 8:00.
Oh man, thank you.
Yep, we'll be there.
Yeah, CT, man.
Yeah.
You broke up.
You broke up. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to preseason.
Definitely.
There's games coming up. We're 1 month away from training camp, media day.
It's crazy.
I can't believe that. And are you guys going to try and make it to any preseason game, any regular season game that you highlight?
Well, I'm going for the October 10th Orlando Spurs, and I'll be there opening night for Magic and Knicks.
Yeah, I'll be there for the opening night, Boston Knicks and MSG.
Yeah, me too. I'll be there.
You two represent.
Yeah, I'll be there opening night as well. I'll be down there with the MBK fam. We're gonna get in there and get a pop. And I'm going on my birthday, December 14th, Golden State Warriors and the Knicks. I'm definitely going there. I'll probably taking the Charlotte game down here. I think it's November 12th. Knicks and Charlotte, get to see what LaMelo doing. And let me see if I can get some interviews for us so we can put back on the network. So I'm gonna go around there politicking as well. You already know. You already know, man. I'm gonna try to get it in. Yeah, man. But BX Jedi, man, holla at me.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this evening. I definitely appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe to Knicks Real Talk, Queens Court, CT Streets Are Buzzing, BX Sports Jedi Network. I got the MMA program and boxing. We got to break it down. I might have a special guest tomorrow booked. Stay tuned. Last week we had a professional MMA fighter on, Billy Swanson,
nice.
aka Big Sexy, and hopefully we're getting. I'm trying to get a female professional MMA fighter or boxer on, and it's in the works. So stay tuned. That's why I hit that notification, that like, and whenever I got there, Chef Dan A, and my son Austin are doing their thing. interviewing these fighters and bringing good content on and support those young men just with a quick like and for the videos because they could be doing something different, negative, and they're doing something positive talking about MMA. So we need to support the young men doing their thing and always encourage them to do their thing. And also CT as well. On CT let me know when you're on your program there. I definitely want to stop by as well. Steppy,
Yeah.
I gotta make an appearance there as well. And you guys will have a good night. Definitely. I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody, man. Great show. Listen, real quick, y'all be safe down there with this hurricane situation. KJ, man, we see you, my brother. We thinking about you. I mean, COVID-19 out there. Y'all be careful, man. That's all I really could say, man. And I appreciate y'all coming on the show tonight, man. Y'all make sure y'all know to hit that notification, hit the like, subscribe.
Yep, salute.
Salute.
Peace.
Yeah, have a good one, man. I'll see y'all in the next episode. I know I'm gonna keep cutting in and out, but good talk, man. I'll see y'all, man. Take care. Yo, salute. Nick's Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Nick's Real Talk. We all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine Bronx Jedi 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Nick's Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Nick's Real Talk, let's get it poppin'. We hoppin' like toppin', and the Jumpman brand ain't no stoppin'. Divine and Bronx out our 7 6 we lit from Facebook, Twitter to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them likes below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Nick's Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. So where it's at, now you place the chats. Gonna paste that under space while our faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the handle on the panel. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Nick's Real Talk. Nick's Real Talk.
Yo, salute everyone. We see y'all in the next episode, man. Y'all be y'all, man. Nick's Real Talk, man. We out of here, man. Peace.